mixed, partial, assholes. MMA-holes, 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 MMA-holes. You like to be a mixed, partial, asshole. MMA-holes, 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 MMA-holes. Oh!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are the MMA-holes live from the studios of New York. The cage is up. We're here. I see Johnny jumped in, and that's good. How's everybody doing today on a live Wednesday night? MMA-holes are here, MMA-holes alive, and we're in full effect. We have a lot of news for you guys to cover. And right off the bat, we're going to start off with something really quick here.
I fight because it's just what I was born to do. It's like asking a fish why it swims. It could never give you a reason. It was born to do that. I don't become blonde in the morning. I just am. I am prepared all the time. Anybody could walk in that door. I'd be ready right now. I don't become ready. It's just something that I am.
That's right. That is Ronda Rousey, the return of Rowdy Ronda Rousey, UFC 207. Exciting news or not exciting news? What do you guys think? And welcome to our broadcast. This is a high production. We have a big intro now. We have a cage. Live from the cage. We have Johnny Else, and that's how this is going to roll. Ronda Rousey is UFC 207 for the belt against Amanda Nunes. Welcome to the show, Johnny. How's it going today?
Oh, wonderful. You know, a day in paradise, right?
Yep, that's what it's called. Paradise. Paradise, the MMA-holes paradise. That's what we like to call it. I'm sorting through my stuff now, getting everything ready for this live broadcast. John, what do you think of my cage? I'm in the cage today.
Love it. I'm in the cage, but you're in the cage.
That's right. I'm in the cage. I'm in the coctagon. That's what I call this. Imus Dad is here. Hey, Imus Dad. How you doing today? Ronda is broken. One loss, and that chick is contemplating suicide. Sup, fools, from Coach Bailey. So, hey, people are here. What do you think about Ronda Rousey about to commit suicide after that loss? Oh, man. I think she...
Did you watch the UFC tonight?
No, I didn't watch I didn't watch any of that. Anything good on that?
Well, Dana was on, and he spewed his mouth off about the Paige Van Zandt fighting a karate hottie, which he said he wasn't supposed to do, so they're all going to kill him. And then hinted at Dominic Cruz being on the Ronda Rousey card as the co-main. So the question being is, who's Cruz going to fight on that card?
Who is Dominic Cruz going to fight? Well, that's a really, really good question. Right off the bat, the Ronda Rousey thing coming into effect, ending the year, was like a must-do. You felt that had to be done, and Dana White pulled it off. And this is exciting. I'm pretty happy about that. It's good to see her back. I feel like that division needs a little bit of an injection of life, and Ronda Rousey, I think, is the person to give that injection. Ronda Rousey likes the injection.
Love her or hate her, it's the truth, because all we've had is one fight champion since, and like you said, there's no spark in the women's fighting right now. You know, a Cyborg gives you a little nudge, but the fact that she don't have a weight class kind of...
Yeah, it's going to help a lot with Ronda back in there, going into storming into that cage and starting a ruckus again with that resting bitch face that she likes to throw around. I see Zeph Sides back in the chat too. Hey, I'm back, Fookers. Nice to see you. Yeah, so basically what we're talking about is UFC 207. It's some breaking news between Ronda Rousey jumping on the card, headlining the card with Amanda Nunes. And now Johnny says John breaks Dominic Cruz is supposed to fight someone on that card as well. I'm assuming that's not going to be the main event because Rousey will be the main event. So co-main would be Dominic Cruz versus question mark. Who do you guys think?
Well, my money says Cody, but you don't know. Maybe they give it to. I don't think Lineker. Do you have any opinion on that one? Besides Cody, who do you think? Dillashaw?
That's a tough one. It's a matter of who I want to see and who deserves it. I'm going to pull it up right here. Boom, boom. There we go. So the pound for pound. Well, look at Demetrius Johnson and Dominic Cruz 1-2. That's pretty wild how Cruz is number 2 on there. That could be debated, but he is a damn good fighter. So I'll give him that. The Dominator is champion in the bantamweight division. TJ Dillashaw, John Lineker, Rafael Assuncio. I forgot about him. Jimmy Rivera, Brian Caraway. You have a stacked bunch of guys that are in line for this fight. Everyone wants to see Cody Garbrandt. I mean, that would be fantastic to see Cody Garbrandt in this fight against Dominic Cruz. I just feel it's a little far-fetched, and if they make that fight, it kind of ruffles some feathers over here. I guess it's kind of like that Dan Henderson thing too, how he jumped all the way up. I mean, this is not as severe, but having Cody Garbrandt jump up to that number 1 fighting for that belt, I understand, Dillashaw lost and Lineker has his testosterone problems and all that funny stuff. And, you look at all these guys, Jamie Rivera too, Brian Caraway is another interesting story because Brian Caraway apparently was thinking about fighting Lamas, filling in for BJ Penn. And did you hear what happened with that, Johnny?
It had something to do with the purse, right? As far as I was hearing. Yeah,
he was going to go up in weight and fight BJ, the stay-at-home Penn, because stay-at-home, we don't want to see you anymore. We've had enough of him. But he was supposed to take his spot and save the card, and he wanted a little bit more cash to jump up. Any other fighter, I'd be like, okay, good for him holding out, but he's Caraway, he's a penis, and screw that guy.
If you look at it, Dillashaw is really the only one in that division that could feel slighted because Acino just lost to Dillashaw, so you really can't give him a title shot over TJ. So I don't see him jumping back in, getting a quick title shot. So it's really either Rivera, Cody, or Dillashaw would be your. But to me, they're going to make this card to be not as big as New York, but I think it's going to be along the lines of they're going to want. And I think Cody just is a bigger draw than those other guys.
Yeah, Cody, I would be the one that the fans want to see for sure, and including myself being one of those fans. I would love to see Cody Garbrandt fight Cruz. I feel though, Dillashaw is going to get it though. Something tells me. And if you give me a Cody Garbrandt versus Lineker fight, sign me up. I'm on board for that. I would love to see that slugfest. So make that happen. That would be cool. Do you think that Cody would get onto that card if that was the case? Say if it was Dillashaw Cruz, you think Cody Lineker? You think Lineker would be able to turn it around and jump into the ring, the cage against Cody Garbrandt?
It's possible just because of the fact that it's the end of December. So you're talking almost 3 months because it's October 4th to December 30th. He could do it as long as he wasn't hurt in the Dotson fight in any way, which I didn't hear anything. You could definitely turn around if you really want that fight. They could do it in 3 months.
Yeah. So I'm just looking through a couple of things over here. I have a bunch of fun stuff that I would love to play for you guys. A lot of fun stuff. I've been running around, and there's a certain laugh. There's a certain soundbite that I would like you to hear. Here you go. That's Conor McGregor laughing. A nice addition to the show, right? A nice addition to the show. A whole bunch of things could pop up. A couple of things.
$4.2 billion. That's what I'm worth to this company.
He's worth $4.2 billion. Okay, there's Conor McGregor. There's the Conor McGregor segment of the show. But Ronda Rousey back. Nope. We're talking over.
On the Conor, I think you would have appreciated the Dana White interview on the NFL tonight, on the UFC tonight, because he actually gave McGregor total props because they brought up the Jose Aldo thing, and Dana White kind of stopped them in their tracks, Florian and Cormier, and said, "Listen, Conor McGregor is the only man on this roster that when his match stops, he doesn't care. He just goes in. He's like, he even pointed at DC, even you were hesitant to fight to make your next fight after the John Jones thing. Conor's the only guy on this card who's in this roster that's ready to fight every time, and that's one thing about him. He can complain, but he's the only guy ready to step in.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Conor today, and he actually told me,
Who the fuck is that guy?
yeah, and I agree. Who the fuck is that guy, right? Who the fuck? Oh, wait, Jose Aldo?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard of him. Never heard of him before. Yeah, he's
Like said, he was baby.
he looks like he's on his way out. It looks like it's a see you later. Do you think Aldo is gonna seriously retire, or is he gonna go to another organization?
I think neither. I think he's going to talk to Dana White. Dana's going to tell him that either Conor's going to win and vacate the featherweight, or Conor's going to lose and he's going to fight Conor. And I think he's going to accept that.
I see. Imus Dad says that's the laugh when he heard that Alvarez didn't renegotiate his pay.
True.
Dan the Man is here as well. Welcome, Dan. We are here on a Wednesday night. Hello, how are you? We're gathering the MMA-holes, talking about the Ronda Rousey situation and everything that circulates the Ronda Rousey situation. But when you ask about Ronda Rousey, this is what you hear.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Well, we call her a guy. Speaking of that, did you see the poster for it? Johnny, you put it on the Instagram page. Amanda Nunes, Jesus Christ. It's like, holy crap. It's like Ronda Rousey's all dolled up and Amanda Nunes looks like, I don't know, man. Woof. Woofa.
Little Kim Jenner.
Yeah, Jesus. She's giving Chris Cyborg a run for her money, man. I feel like Ronda's going to...
By the way, Dana White also, during the interview, that Ronda will fight Cyborg very soon, apparently.
So what's going to happen there? What, they're going to do another one? They're going to starve Cyborg and go at 140? If they do another 140 fight, it doesn't hurt anybody. You know, Cyborg loses, you know, she's starving. Ronda loses, it's not her weight class. You know, so it's a kind of win-win for everybody, you know?
That's my opinion. First of all, there should be a 145 women's weight class because Mongoloids like Amanda Nunes and even Misha Tate, who walks around at 160. I mean, 145 should be a weight class regardless, and that's what I think they should fight at, in my opinion, 145 pounds.
Yeah. Dana White didn't want to have this whole women's MMA thing and was like, nah, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Then he allows that to happen. Now he doesn't want 145ers. He doesn't want like normal looking women to fight. He just wants girls to, you know, prance around in there half naked, which I don't blame him. I can't argue with that. But the thing is, the pool's got to get a little bit bigger for that 145 class. There's not really much to choose from what I've seen, at least. So
what we've seen, that any girl who doesn't think she can cut to 135, you don't really see much of. Like, not that she would come back like a Gina Carano. Gina Carano, at this point, would never make 135 ever again. But I think there's a lot more girls out there that you start throwing that 145 weight class out there, you might see.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see another weight class because the girls they throw down better than the guys sometimes. Oh, Jim Lip's here.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Welcome, Jim Lip. I see if Ronda loses, she's going to end up on an episode of My 600-Pound Life. That's from Zeph's side.
Surreal.
Yeah, you feel that Ronda's another loss away from just kind of losing control again. I'm surprised Dana didn't give Rouse a slump buster fight. That's from Imus Dad. Yeah, I think this was the perfect way for Rousey to get back into the game again. This girl wins the belt from Misha Tate. You know, there's no connections to Rousey. I think Rousey feels she could run this girl over with no problem. So I feel that Rousey thinks this is a layup. Even though it's not a layup, I think Rousey thinks this is a layup. So she's going to go in there and run this girl over. But if she loses, if Rousey comes back from that long break and loses, what happens? Does she fly off the deep end? Does Travis Brown get a sex change? Like, what happens?
I gotta be honest, Jai. I don't see Ronda losing. My biggest question is this: say Ronda goes in there and mutilates Amanda Nunes, wins the belt. What does she do? Is it Chris Cyborg next, or does she call out Holly Holm again? Because you know she's going to want to revenge that loss.
Holly Holm.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Holly Holm. Yeah, I would love to see Rousey. Rousey Tate is like, we saw it a million times already. Holly Holm is one I would love to see again. It kind of loses a little bit of steam. And, it probably wouldn't have hurt to have Rousey come back in there and fight Holm, no belt, and, work her way back up. But she's Ronda Rousey. So they're going to just throw her right into the fire and grab that gold. And I kind of hope Holly Holm wins a couple of fights and gets back into the game again. I would like to see her in the picture. I'd like to see that rematch. That'd be nice. Well,
on that, I agree with you, but I'm sure that Dana went straight to Ronda and said, what do you want? Do you want Holm? Do you want a layup? Do you want the title shot? And I don't think Rousey personally, mentally, can live without that belt. That's why she took this fight. I'm sure a layup fight would have been nice for her, and she probably thought about it for a second. But I don't think she could picture herself fighting unless it's a title fight.
Yeah, she's just too big of a name. I see Jim Lipp put, you saw what Nick Diaz said about McGregor. I didn't see what he said about McGregor. Yeah, I don't know. If you did, let us know. Okay, let's see. Dan the Man says she thinks it's a layup, but she's going to get blocked by Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside. That's from Dan the Man. Jane Doe's here. Welcome, Jane Doe. She should kill herself. If she wins 207, I heard her and Conor fight at UFC 212. That's if Conor doesn't retire. All right. I'm his dad says Holly Holm's face looks like it belongs a 65-year-old skin damaged biker. Yeah, Holly Holmes. She looks like she's not aging gracefully. Holly Holmes.
She's wet.
It happens. That's what happens to us fair-skinned people. When you too much of that sun, the freckles come out, the wrinkles come out, and what are you going to do? Cyborg comes out. Yeah, the old does come out. Cyborg the transgender. That's from Jim Lipp.
Yeah, she probably transgender.
Jane Doe says Holly Holm is a leather bag. I'm his dad. Says bitch ages like a dog. Oh man. That's why I want to see a 145 weight class. I'd love to see the comments. I'd love to see those characters crawling into the octagon. Holy crap, man! So, oh, by the way, Luke Thomas had his the jerk off. Luke Thomas had a show today, and of course, Chris had to jump in there. That's myself. I had to jump in and troll on that chat room and throw a couple of zingers out there. It's quite fun to watch Luke Thomas uncomfortably go through his broadcast. It's very amusing how he's there all miserable with his face and his snaggletooth and his beard. Not as magical as mine, but I'm just going to keep trolling that guy. So if you guys were in there, let us know. If not, jump in there. It's pretty funny. Dan the Man. What else? A national coming out day yesterday. So if she was transgender, she would have some... you know what? That's true. It was National Coming Out Day yesterday, right? Happy National Coming Out Day.
National Coming Out Day.
Oh, God. Holy crap. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that Dana White squeezed together at the end of the year and pretty nuts, man. It's pretty freaking nuts. That 207 now is going to turn into a pretty damn good cool card. I mean, 205 is legendary, but 207... It's a fun way to end the year now, huh? A lot of juice into that fight.
So they brought up 206 on the show tonight, right? So Cormier asked Dana White, why is it that he's listed as the co-main, and it says to be announced for the main event? And Dana White said, no, it's got to be a mistake on the internet. It's definitely you're definitely the main event. So immediately Cormier goes, is it GSP? And, Dana White backtracker says, I don't think he's going to fight. What do you think? You think mistake, or you think they have another fight lined up for that card they're not telling anybody about?
GSP. It's like one of the biggest freaking mysteries, GSP. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, man. It's like you hear from one side, GSP is back and he's going to be fighting and he's looking for a super fight against somebody and blah, blah, blah. And then you hear from Dana White, he's like, nah, this guy's not serious. There's sources saying that GSP is effing around and he's under some sort of contract or something like that, or from his sponsors. So that's why he's throwing his name in the hat, but he's not really serious. Then people are saying he's actually still training and he's getting ready. What the I don't know what the hell this guy is doing, man. I have no idea what this guy is doing. What do you think, John?
I'm curious. You know what? Until Cormier brought that up, which I didn't go to the website and look at it, and I'm sure it's pulled down by now because he brought it up. But until he brought it up, there's really no other fight that they could put ahead of Cormier for a main on that fight on 206. So when Cormier, to me, he's got to have a little inside information because the dude is who he is. He's really involved. So I'm curious if maybe there is a GSP Anderson Silva, which has been apparently I don't know if you saw this. Anderson Silva's son put an Instagram picture up and it had a picture of him, Silva and GSP, and he said this could be happening soon. So we might see this fight, and it could be on that card. It would not shock me.
Yeah, it would be cool if they piece that together. That would definitely be the missing piece to help that card out to make it a super duper fun pay-per-view that we would have to steal or something. I don't know, but I'm looking at the chat. Okay, let's see. It's funny because your boy is doing the show in front of a closet, considering yesterday was the day to come out. That's Luke Thomas. Yeah, we don't know. Luke Thomas puts a white piece of paper in the background. It's a little wrinkled. And we don't know what's on the other side. People are speculating, saying it might be a toilet bowl. It's possible. It could be a closet that he's in. It's very strange. It's not as cool as my cage. My awesome. Look at his cage, man. Grab that thing. Okay, he's Zeph Side says he's a caterpillar. Came out as a butterfly. Jim Lip. I honestly think Alvarez will embarrass McGregor. I said embarrass, but embarrass McGregor. Wow, how about that? Jim Lip coming out saying, McGregor's got no shot.
I'm going to say that, so he could be right. No one else is everybody thinks Alvarez is getting mutilated, but Jim could be onto something.
It's like that whole thing with Nate Diaz, too. Everyone was split. People were like, oh, Nate Diaz is going to get schooled by McGregor. McGregor's going to chop him down, and blah, 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 and McGregor gets choked out. So you can't never say never. But I tell you what.
Look at it this way. Diaz was noticeably bigger than McGregor. When they stand next to each other, he's noticeably bigger. I mean, McGregor and Alvarez are somewhere around the same weight. and I mean, not just weight class. I'm talking like same size and everything. So it's not as much of a swing as the friggin' Diaz fight. Diaz was just bigger, lankier. I give him a better shot against Alvarez than I would at Diaz fighting him 5 times.
Yeah, well, Alvarez he does have a little weight on him, but they are around the same height. And Alvarez has a nasty, nasty ground game that not many people talk about. So that will be a little bit of a problem, but he's McGregor. And when you ask McGregor about Alvarez, you pretty much hear,
who the fuck is that guy?
So that pretty much sums up that. Where is the lifetime supply of diapers from Dan the Man? Johnny, that's a good question. Where is the lifetime supply of diapers? We need
to ship them over the border.
Are they in Canada or where? We need to know. The MMA-holes need to know.
I get them down. Trump built the wall.
What's up, Mike Moriarty? Luke Thomas is taking a shit while analyzing. Yeah, he takes like an hour and a half shit over there. He has that face like he's taking a shit. He's like, he's so fucking pissed. He's so pissed. What is his problem, this guy? Why are you so mad, Luke Thomas? Smile. Smile once. Maybe if he smiles, he's afraid he's going to shatter the camera. I don't know. Let's see. Hi, Holes. The best top 10. Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm his dad, GSP. I was not impressed by your cage effect. That's my impression of GSP making fun of my cage. Fuck off, GSP. Zeph Side. I'm his dad. I think Alvarez is going to just make for a boring ass fight like the Anthony Pettis. Possible. He's going to try to wait the entire time to take him down. That's what he's going to say. That's what he's going to do. I think if Alvarez is smart, that's what he's going to do. I mean, he's going to try to smother him, stay close to him, watch out for that left. McGregor's got to be ready for this. I feel that McGregor is going to be ready for this. He's gonna work the kicks. He's going to work Alvarez's body. That's what he's going to do. He's going to be freaking every time Alvarez tries to do something, he's going to fucking kick him right in the ribs. Right in the ribs. He's going to break them ribs. Send him right back to Philly where he belongs. Dan the Man. Hey, what are you two using to chat to each other again? Okay, Dan the Man wants to know what we're using to chat. We're using Google Hangouts. Now, I can't get the Hangout chat in. Let me see if I could do it. I don't know. I could try. I tried pasting the link to the chat. Oh, there it is. The link is in the chat, guys. So there you go. If you guys want to jump in on the chat, you're going to have to fight John's diapers off. But the link is right there, and you could visit us and say hi. And that would be a first for the MMA-holes. We'll have another hole in the cage with us. I don't know if you could hang in the cage with me. This cage is I broke through for the show. If you could see, I took my wire cutters and I cut through, and I was like, it's time for the show. Dan the Man might jump in. Do that, Dan. Dan, do that. We would like to meet you. We would like to chat and hear your beautiful voice. Isn't Edgar fighting at 205? Frankie Edgar is fighting at 205. Who the hell is he fighting?
Who the fuck is that guy?
I don't know.
That guy.
He's fighting. Who the fuck is that guy? Someone on the Facebook page, I'm not sure who did it, but it said the answer versus the question. I thought that was pretty clever. I like that. Do it, Danny. Zepside wants to see Dan the Man in. Dan the Man has been a staple of the holes. He's been part of the holes from day one. If Dan the Man jumps on, we're going to have a party. We're going to sing and dance. John's going to start juggling. I'm going to take my shirt off, and I'm going to squeeze my nipples. Doesn't everyone want to see that? All right. Alvarez fear is going to get Connor very aroused. That's from Clark Kent. Clark Kent, welcome back. Let me read that again. Alvarez fear is going to get Connor very aroused. This guy saying that he's not scared. Do you buy into that, John? I mean, I don't buy into that at all, man. I think this guy is shook a little bit.
Who, Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he's a little shook. I do. I the way he was handling that press conference, I know he says he wasn't prepared, but he just, I don't know, he was kind of stumbling, and he wasn't ready for the match.
Yeah, look at it this way. He blew his whole thing. He can literally lose his belt to the biggest mouth in the UFC, the guy who's going to make him feel like total trash if he does, and he didn't even renegotiate the contract and make more money for it. So he's pretty much a dumb fuck.
Yeah, dumb fuck. That's what we call that guy. A dumb fuck. Fuck. Maybe McGregor will make an appearance tonight. So, John, if you see what I did with my cage, when I constructed the cage, if you look over here, it says the MMA-holes. Okay, you see that, Johnny? Now over here, it's supposed to say Google, right? But you can't get rid of the Google. You can't get rid of the Googs. I don't want Google on it, so I just whited this whole part out. And now you don't see the Google anymore. Fuck Google.
You didn't have to tell him that.
Look at it.
No one would.
That's right. Look at this. Look at this. Fook Google. Look at this. Fook Google. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, focus. There it is. It's somewhere. My camera's not performing to its abilities, but that says Fook Google. And that's that. So Google's gone, John. Google's gone. That's a little story. That's a little inside story for everybody. So,
we haven't discussed 204 yet, which wound up being a fantastic fucking card.
204 was freaking great. Coach says Cyborg versus Connor. Who wins? Cyborg. I heard, was it Chris Weidman said that he was on the Matt Sarah, Jimmy Norton show. Said that Cyborg is very scary. He was behind her in Starbucks, went to say hi, and she almost ripped his balls off and ate them. So,
catch them.
Ripped his balls off and put it on her. Dumb Fook.
Yeah.
Who actually thinks Bisping won? And Fook Google. Yeah. All right. Let's get into that. Let's talk a little bit. Let's laugh. And let's talk about this disaster of UFC 204 because that was it was a lot of fun, a hell of a lot of fun. But I have some questions for my MMA-hole friends. And here it is. Here it is, UFC 204, the Bisping versus the Henderson. Henderson's last fight ever. And I think Henderson won. I really think Henderson won. I watched it again. And looking at the first round, I think Henderson could have won that first round 10-8. 10-8. What do you think, Johnny?
Truthfully, I think that Henderson got ripped off in the second round because you've seen the fight card they sent you, right?
The scorecards?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, I didn't really get a chance to look over the scorecards. Actually, I should post those on Twitter, but I didn't see that yet. Why everyone gave it to Bisping the second round?
Everybody gave Bisping the second round. I could shoot. I think I shot you the text with the picture.
That's all right. I believe you. And if you're lying, we're going to come over there and we're going to kill you. But all right, let's look at this. So this was very I don't know. The stats were weird this night. When you look at the stats, it doesn't really tell what happened in the actual event. And that's when I say the unofficial stats. These are very unofficial. Oh, here we go. Here's the scorecards right here. 48-47, 48-47, 49-46. What's it called?
Well, I mean, the round by round scorecard. Second round.
I just wanted to see. I just wanted to get a look of who scored what, which is pretty interesting. So the first round. I mean, everyone was on board. Henderson won that round, correct? But the argument could be, did he win that round 10-8? And I think that's a valid argument, man. Because I mean, I think so. But regardless, say he didn't win that round 10-8. He wins that round 10-9, which I thought the night of. I think now 10-9 is fair. So now you go into the second round. And this is that crazy round where Bisping opened up. How many minutes into that round? He basically 75% of that round Bisping owned. And then all of a sudden, boom, knockdown. Boom, Hendo was just killing him. Almost stops Bisping in that round. I honestly thought that Henderson stole that freaking round. I understand Bisping was very active in the beginning and he was winning the round, but man, what a momentum change the end of that round, John. What do you think about that?
We watched the fight and I agree with you. I thought we all thought, except for I believe Capace, that the second round was Henderson stole it. He almost beat him. He friggin' stole the end of that round. And the round should really go to the guy who finished the strongest. So I thought it was 2-0 going into the third.
It's
then
freaking.
You can give Bisping the third.
It's
then the fifth I give to Henderson. Henderson won.
It's nuts. Wait, I'm gonna go back into this. I mean, it's one of those things. Hey, if it comes down to a decision and it's kind of close, you're gonna give it to the champ. Bisping's home. He's in his home. But I mean, I don't know. It just the second round. That's the questionable one for me, but you could always go with that first round, the 10-8. But I really did think that Henderson, well, they're saying now that things are going to change. The rules are going to change, and they're going to score more to damage, give more to power punches and stuff like that, give more points in that direction, which needs to be done because, I mean, Henderson almost stopped Bisping that round. The fight was almost over. So that was that. Third and fourth were Bisping all the way. Bisping. And I would say 10-9 for each one. Bisping did very good in those rounds. Bisping definitely won those rounds. Now the fifth round, I think Henderson won the fifth round. I really do. I really feel that Henderson won the fifth round. These stats don't tell what the fight actually had, but when it comes down to it, Bisping is the champ still, and that's that. Johnny, we're gonna have to burn down the octagon over there and give that belt to Henderson because he deserves it. Look at this poof. I went to.
And I'm not even a Henderson guy, but I just think that he won that fight. I think he won 3 rounds. And you think it's just because the UFC didn't want to strip a title and then the guy vacated by retiring? I know that people say the judges don't get influenced, but it happened.
Even if Bisping won, if Henderson won, the belt would have been up in the air. It would have been freaking. It still would have been Bisping versus whoever looked good in the Jacare Rockhold or the Weidman Romero, which Weidman was killing Romero on what interview was that? On I think it was Ariel Helwani. He was killing Romero, saying 39 years old, the steroid thing. He was just going on and on and on about the guy. You know, Yoel Romero, I mean, he's had his issues with that stuff, so I can understand the frustration. But yeah, I still think it wouldn't have meant anything. It would have been, the belt would have been up in the air, Bisping versus whoever performed the best in those two fights. Okay, let's see. I'm just looking at the chat again. I saw Cerrone talking shit and saying that McGregor was afraid of him, and that's why he chose to fight Diaz. Yeah, I did hear that as well. The best top 10 ever, and it could possibly be true. I mean, Cowboy is a dangerous dude. Okay, but this Cowboy. Oh, look at this! I see a Daniel live in the room with us. Hello, Daniel. I'm assuming Daniel is Dan the Man. Dan the Man, welcome to the show. And cheers.
This thing on?
Yes, sir. This is on, Dan. It's nice to hear your voice. And you are live on the MMA-HOLES. A round of applause.
What up?
What's up, my friend? I was going to give you a little...
Who the fuck is that guy?
But we were nice. And I gave it to you afterwards, so that I think that's fair. Dan, how's it going today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're pretty good. The Ronda Rousey news has got us all excited. We're tickled right now. We like, yeah, we're tickled by the news. And John got rid of the diapers. So, Dan, would you think that the diapers would be better on the show? Do you like the show with or without the diapers in the background?
Well, I mean, don't be concerned. That was my first thought when I hopped in.
It's like, where am I in the right? Am I watching the right show here? There's no diapers.
Yeah, I had to make sure, and I had the right people here.
Oh crap! So Dan is here. Everyone is saying hello to Dan. Hey, King Clan is here. Dan, look at the chat. They love you, Dan. You're a hit. You're a star.
Feels good.
It feels good to be king. There it is. Tell him, Dan. Tell him how it is.
I mean, it feels pretty nice. Nice.
That's right. Dan the Man is here. He's live. He's he's an OG MMA hole. And we like hanging out with Dan, and we like hanging out with everyone in the chat. I see Scotland is aboard. And King Clan, the winner of the contest. Dan, King Clan took it home, and now we got to ship him an autograph to Scotland.
Yeah, I got a chip on my shoulder about that one.
You don't think he played fair?
Oh no, congratulations. But, I mean, it's a bittersweet victory. You know, I mean, I think I should have pulled that one off.
You definitely did well. Everyone did well, and everyone was dancing around the answer. And King Clan wisely threw a million names out and nailed it.
I'm gonna have to come for that autograph, King Clan.
Dan is coming. You heard it here, Johnny. Johnny, Dan is coming for the autographs.
That's in your pocket. I ain't doing that.
So let's talk about
Dan. So kill me about it.
Yes, we're going to talk about the autographs. So the scheduled shoot was on the 19th. They moved it to the 25th. So this is the plan, Dan. Now that you're with us live, we're going to talk to you about this. We are going. Me and my buddy Mike. Mike is the one that got everything hooked up. He had the V-neck. He had the V-neck going on. He works for a magazine. He's not allowing us to say the name of the magazine, but it's going to have the two UFC fighters. It's going to have Chris Weidman, and it's going to have Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So what we're trying to do here is we're going to get the autograph because that was the deal. So we're going to get that for King Clan. But what we want to do is have a live stream from the event, which I think would be boom bonkers. I think the MMA-HOLES broadcasting live from this event would be fantastic. So Dan, if you could jump in on a hangout on the 25th, clear your schedule, you could be part of the Chris Weidman Wonderboy extravaganza, which would be awesome.
What time would that be?
So that is a day event. It's probably, I'm assuming it's going to be either from noon to 2 o'clock, somewhere around there. We don't have the exact time yet, but what we're going to do is as soon as we find out the details, we're going to let everyone know, and we're going to just bombard the shit out of it. We're going to storm the line of people, whoever's going to be there waiting for autographs. We're going to say, the MMA-HOLES, excuse me, we're coming through, and we'll find out a time. We'll let you guys know.
Gotcha. All right. I mean, I'll try to clear up my. I mean, I might have to work that day. I'm not entirely sure, man.
Yeah.
But
Well, we'll let you know, and then you let us know. It was funny. It was supposed to be on the Monday of that week, and I had a job, and I almost jumped off a roof. But they changed it, and I didn't have to flat myself, so that's good. King the Clan says you'll do fucking nothing.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That's right, King Clan. Who the fuck is that guy? I missed that. V-Neck. He's calling out V-Neck. V-Neck, I hope he could jump in. John, do you think V-Neck is going to jump in?
Knowing him, he'll jump in for about 30 seconds and then disappear like every other Wednesday chat.
You think he's at a dinner and he's gonna be coming in drunk again? All right. So Johnny, do me a favor, if you can, text Mike and say Dan the Man is in the chat with us, and Dan needs to see you. Alrighty. So let's see. I see Clark Kent says you guys should use live.me. Is that a streaming service, that live.me? I'm assuming it is. I tried what was the other one I tried that I didn't like? Forgot the name of it. It's like the other big streaming one. That I like about Google Hangouts is you could basically just jump on it with your phone. You could jump it's linked into YouTube. YouTube, if you do a live stream, you could literally just click on the Google Hangout thing and bang, you're on. I just don't like the Google thing, so I smushed it out of the way over here. Got rid of it. See you later. Peace.
yeah, a lot of people use Twitch. I'm not a big fan of Twitch.
So Twitch that's a big gaming one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge now, the Twitch thing. Everyone is on that thing. I don't do much gaming, but I was debating on jumping on that, but I don't know if they have any broadcasts like this over there. I'm not sure. Do you know if they have broadcasts like this, or is it more?
I'm not 100% sure. I mean, you could probably just have yourself and not be playing a game. So just have yourself on the screen without the actual gameplay of whatever you're playing. So it could just be like a chat type basis. Not 100% sure.
I see. I'll look into that. Into that, and if it's better, we go in there and we dominate that. But right now we're on the Hangouts, and that's pretty much that. I dropped a link in there if you guys want to jump in with Dan the Man. It's a pleasure to have Dan the Man on the show. Dan, did you watch the fight live with us? So were you watching as well, or did you just watch our stupid faces get drunk?
Nah, I got home late from Cedar Point, so I just hopped on the YouTube, see what you guys were doing.
Yeah, Cedar Point is freaking awesome, man. I got family in Michigan. And John, you ever go to Cedar Point?
No, I have no idea where it is.
Cedar Point's in Ohio. And it is a roller coaster orgasm. That's pretty much how that works over there, Cedar Point. It's fantastic.
That's actually their slogan.
Come to Cedar Point and have a roller coaster orgasm with your family. Oh, hey.
No!
Holy shit. Who the hell is... I was going to have to put this sign up. I was going to have to put this here.
Oh, come on now.
Look, it's like two of you.
I got to be honest with you. I'm good looking.
Jade, you're squared. It's J squared show. So anyway, let's stop horsing around. Oh my God, where'd my cage go? What? Bang! There it is. Here's the cage. It's right there. Jason, John is here, and we also have Dan the Man in studio with us. What do you think about this?
All right, Jay's gone already.
Did we lose Jay? We were so excited to have him in. His face is frozen on the screen. See you later, Jay.
The pace was, I'm not home.
Oh, he's not home? Okay.
He's starstruck from the news.
Yeah, we really messed with him when it was like, hey, here he is. Look, there's two of them. He's like, holy shit. And it just bounced. That's that. Oh, well. How about them Mets? Jim Lip.
Ooh.
Oh, Jim.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Jim, I like you, but you're kicking us where the sun don't shine. I'm not digging that. Jim Lip said, how about those Mets? Oh, Jim Lip. Damn, what are we going to do about this guy? All right. Joey Mouth. Holy shit. Joey Mouth is here. Hey, guys, I got permission from my gym to give you an interview. Oh, right. I'm affiliated with Mark Henry, Frankie Edgar, Chris, the whole crew. And after listening, I figured you may want to. Come on. Joey, are you serious about this? Joey, if this is true, This would be freaking awesome. We would 100% be on board with this. We're actually, I don't know if you heard earlier, but we're trying to do a live stream in 2 weeks at the Chris Weidman, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson photo shoot. And we're going to be streaming live and harassing fighters. If this is the case, and if this is true, I will send you my info, and we will work this out. And we will have MMA holes all over the place. Fook Mark Henry. Zeph side says Fook Mark Henry, King Clan. I'm still laughing at the Fook Mark Henry. oh, shit, that's great, man. That's a little press conference.
Go, I'm back.
Jason, what's up, buddy? Jay, let me fill you in on what's going on right now. Okay? Are we gonna stay in this? Or are we gonna lose you?
I don't know yet. Nah, the phone keeps on dying.
All right, so we got exciting news. Okay, we have a lot of exciting news. We have Dan the Man in the room. Okay, that's first off.
Awesome.
Okay, you happy about that?
Ecstatic.
Dan, do you believe this?
Shocking for me too, man.
Dan is, like I said before, an OG MMA hole. Jay, I don't know if you're familiar, but I told everyone else that we're trying to do a live stream. We're going to an event. Chris Weidman and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. We're going to this event. They're getting the pictures taken, and we're going to be there. We're going to try to get a live stream there for the holes. You know, we got some autographs going out to Scotland, and we're trying to get that done. Breaking news: Joey Mouth says he has a gym that he's affiliated with, and it has Mark Henry, Frankie Edgar, Chris, the whole crew, and he's thinking about having the MMA-holes make an appearance over there. Maybe do a live stream. Jay, what do you feel about that?
Wow, that's great. Big time, big time.
Let's see. So Joey says it's no joke. Joey Mount says it's no joke. We'll see, but you know, we'll exchange information. Let's just do that. And actually, Joey, let me ask you a question. Do you have Twitter? If you have Twitter, send me a message on Twitter, or I can send you a message on Twitter, and we'll iron that out. As long as Dan the Man says it's okay.
Oh yeah, go for it. That's awesome.
All right, Dan gives his thumbs up, and we give the thumbs up too. Okay, respect to Mark Henry. No joke. Okay, that's from King Clan. Joey Mouth. Well, I can prove it in any way you want. Let's see if he takes that shit when I'm on. Well, it's up to you. If you want to do this, let's do it. Dude, Joey, I'm definitely on board with that. That sounds like a fucking awesome time. And we'll have some laughs. We'll talk MMA. And that'd be a lot of fun. Okay. Ayoza Noda. Hey, guys. How is this afternoon so far? Well, Ayoz, I think I'm saying his name right. Ayoz. It's not afternoon over here. It's actually almost 10 o'clock right now, 9:49 p.m. at night. Dan, where is it by you right now? Actually,
the same exact time.
Wait, so you're from Cleveland. That's right. Okay, so forget it. I'm getting everything screwed up right now. Dan's from Cleveland. Let's see. King Clan is moving. It says moving up. Fook, yeah. Ow. All right, here we go. I'm his dad. Jason's face makes me wonder. Jay, you ready for this?
It's still, what are we talking about?
Where's the drunk driver when you need one? I can't. Dude, on Saturday's show, we were laughing pretty freaking hard. There was some funny comments. All the MMA holes got it, and I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So funny, man. Nice, I understand. Nice. Joey Mouth. Yeah, how I do it privately. Okay, so contact me. All right, Joey. Can you put your? How do I message you? Let me see how we do this. Johnny, you talk. Because I see her in the corner over there.
Did you guys talk about Rousey yet? You know, I came on late.
All right, so Jay, we're going to talk about it. All right, so Chris, get your producer to contact me. I'm not kidding. I got to talk about that. You're the first, no joke. Okay, so Joey, listen, throw your Twitter. If you could throw your Twitter name in there, I'll get your Twitter. I'll message you, and then we'll lock this up. Because, dude, are you kidding me? I would love to do this. So just shoot out your Twitter information, and we'll do it that way. Jason, I'm sorry. So listen, let me fill you in on Jason right now. Okay.
Real quick.
Okay, Jason despises Ronda Rousey, despises her. Okay, she is saving the UFC in 207 by ending off with a bang. But I am sure right now that Jason has something very enlightening to say about Miss Ronda Rousey, and it's going to be fantastic. Take it away.
Listen, before I get to saying she sucks and all this good stuff, because obviously she doesn't, right? I'm not a fan of hers, but once the way she lost and ran out of the octagon, that's it. And we haven't seen her face in a year and a half.
Yeah.
You got to lose respect for the girl. You really do. Now, I want to see Miesha Tate fight. I'm a big Miesha Tate fan. I think Holly Holm would still beat her up. And in 206, I think she's going to lose. And when she loses, they're going to say it's because of the ring rust. And I don't think that's going to be the case.
So you're saying, do you think she's going to, I'm sorry, I missed you for a second. You're saying that she has the ring rust and she's going to lose? She's going to lose. She's going to lose, guaranteed. So are you saying this is an MMA-hole exclusive? Don't even tune in. She's going to get her ass kicked unless you want to.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, this is the thing, man. And if she does win, in a way, I'm actually hoping she wins so she can fight Chris Cyborg and get her ass kicked.
So you wanted to see double ass kicking. That's what you're looking for.
I definitely do.
So here's the thing.
Get her ass kicked again. You know how I feel about her.
All right, we're gonna go down the line here, okay? If she does, this is gonna be my question to all three of you guys. I'm gonna start with John. The question is this: if she gets her ass kicked, okay, the first time around, is she just gonna crawl under a rock and vanish, or is she gonna keep going? I'm gonna ask John. John, start it off.
I have two parts to this. First off is Jay has predicted Rousey losing 14 times, and he was only right once.
Good one.
The second thing is
don't bet on my predictions, by the way.
If she loses, absolutely she's done. She will not fight again if she loses.
Johnny's saying she's done. Finito. That's it. Jason, what do you think? She's definitely done after the first.
If she loses again, she won't come back from it. She'll be done. She'll go pop out 6 kids, and we'll call it a day.
So Jason says either way it's a loss. She's just gonna get her ass kicked no matter what. No matter what happens, Ronda Rousey's gonna go in there with her face, and she's gonna get her ass whooped. Dan the man, finish it up. What do you think?
I guess it depends how bad she gets her ass kicked. Like if it's like if she gets absolutely destroyed, yeah, she's like never coming back for sure. She's out of there.
So that's it. So a lot of people are saying one and done.
But wait, hold on. I've been wrong many times with Rousey.
The question is, what
if she does win? She's absolutely going to get killed against Cyborg.
Yeah.
So she might as well just lose easy, then beat this girl badly, and then fight Cyborg and get destroyed.
Alrighty. So I dropped my email in the chat room. So there you go. You can check me out at chris@duplexentertainment.com. That's our business email. Send me a message. Send me an email through there, Joey, and we will link that up. We will lock that up because that'd be cool. I'll smack Frankie Edgar right in the face. I met him before. Actually, he's a real cool guy. Johnny met him too, and he's a really cool guy. So Chris Cyborg, I cannot argue with any of you guys. Chris Cyborg would fuck up Cain Velasquez, for God's sakes. I mean, so for her to beat up Ronda Rousey, it's not a tough thing to agree with. But
yeah, that's an easy loss.
This freaking fight against Nunes really it just makes you think, because I'm not sure what to think with this fight. Nunes looks fantastic. The way she beat the crap out of Miesha Tate, I mean, that was pretty wild. Now you got Rousey off this long break with that jerk off Edmund, or whatever the hell his name is, that trainer, which is like, what is she thinking with this guy? Get rid of this guy. He's a piece of work, man. And it just seems like he gives her nothing but, and her and Travis Brown, nothing but bad advice, So I don't know why she's with that, but I'm dying to see UFC 207. What are we going to see there? It's going to be a circus, regardless. It's going to be a circus. So that should be some good.
The good thing about her trainer, Chris, because he's the moron that said she could strike with Holly Holm, and she wound up getting her jaw fucked and broken.
But the only thing is, too, that you have to give to Rousey, and I hate to do it, is that, you know, she's so much bigger than the other girls she fights. She fought Holly Holmes bad. She fought her real bad. Because when she got hit by Holly Holmes and felt the power, she should have just took it down. She didn't. She stood up, she squared up, and she got her head knocked off. So she's going to come in a lot bigger than Nunez, and she just may manhandle Nunez like she does every other girl. So that's where she may win.
I see what you're saying.
She'll never be able to do that with Cyborg. Nobody could do that with Cyborg.
Yeah, so in the comments, I see, is Rousey fight confirmed? King Clan, it is confirmed. Yeah. 207, and all the MMA holes that are hanging out below say the same thing. UFC 207, was that December, what, 30th?
30th.
Holy crap. For your holidays. Merry Christmas. Boobies.
Like Jay, if you missed this, they're saying that Cruz is probably going to be the co-main. They haven't announced who he's fighting on that card.
So wait, hold on. They announced Cruz. You're saying yes, correct. So yeah, what do you think, Jay? We actually talked about this. Let's go around the horn. Me and Johnny talked about it. Dominic Cruz. Okay, who do you want to see Dominic Cruz fight? And what I could do is make your life a little bit easier. I'm going to throw it up on the screen, and Dan, we're going to ask you as well. Since you're in here, we're going to talk to you too. I don't know if you could see this, but Dominic Cruz is over here in the bantamweight division, okay? He has Dillashaw, Lineker, Asuncio, Rivera, Caraway, Garbrandt. I'm going to stop right there because once you hit Uriah Faber, it's like, forget it. So here we go. We got the 6 underneath. Who do you guys think? Jay, actually, Dan, let's start with you on this one. Who do you think Dominic Cruz is going to get on his next fight?
I'm a Rivera guy, so I'll go with actually. I'm not 100% sure.
Dan, if you don't give me an answer, I'm going to kick you right out. No.
Gotcha. Rivera.
There you go. I like that Rivera answer because people are looking over him. It would be funny.
Yeah.
All these names in there, and Rivera just jumps in and deservedly, he deservedly could get the title shot. I don't think it's going to happen because of the, the juice behind it, but it would be a great fight for sure. Jason, what do you think?
This is the thing. Didn't Dillashaw lose his last fight?
No.
No, Dillashaw won.
Did he win his last fight?
No, he
beat the Asuncio guy, the guy who's the third.
He lost, right? But he lost to Cruz, didn't he?
Yes, that was
yes.
It.
Okay. So Jay, I'm going to refresh your memory right here.
It's either between him and Caraway.
Okay. And what about Cody Garbrandt? You don't think he'd be in the mix either? I'll refresh your memory. He's the guy with the neck tattoos and been knocking people out in like 2 seconds.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. You know what? You're right.
So, no, I'm not saying he's going to be the guy, but a lot of people want to see.
He would be a good fight, man. He would be a real good fight.
So
he would be a real good fight.
Did you get a chance, Jay? I'm going to ask you real quick. The Lineker-Dotson fight, did you get a chance to watch that one yet?
No, I didn't, but I just caught the highlights.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, you didn't really miss much. I mean, they banged. They did a good job, but
but not to mention, I did pick Lineker, by the way.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah, Dots is jumping all over the ring. He's a retard.
I want to see Cody Garbrandt fight Dominic Cruz. I want to see that. I just feel it's not going to happen. So the next best thing for me is let's see Garbrandt go Lineker. I just love to see that slugfest. Just want to see it. Fists in the face.
Garbrandt, hasn't he been beating everybody too?
Garbrandt's been sick. He's been sick, man. The guy.
Yeah.
And you got
Cal. Get a shot then?
Cody. That's what we're talking about right now. It's like who?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's a good fight right there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you want to just put asses in the seats, just put Cruz, Garbrandt, let them talk shit for a couple of months, and make it happen. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
You guys hear about this Demi Lovato?
I'm sorry, what was that, Dan?
You guys hear about Demi Lovato is thinking about MMA?
I saw her training. This video's online. John, did you see that? The training?
I never knew that.
What was the fight?
Well, she's
she going out with a
she's
going out with an MMA
Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold is laying down the D. Hard.
He's a fucking mental case too.
Hold on. Let's look into the chat real quick. Is Ronda Rousey confirmed? Yes. Wow, ready for the Cormier fight. Jim Lip is ready for the Cormier fight. King Clan, UFC, well done. Clark Kent, Fook Christmas. Anything with Fook is amazing. TJ, King Clan says, TJ, a lot of respect for TJ. Yeah, I want to see TJ. Give TJ his rematch. Okay, that's coming over. Cody would be my pick, and that's I Miss Dad. Cody deserves it. Get the fuck out of here with that Demi shit. I Miss Dad. Dan, don't take that from him. Say, listen, I Miss Dad, settle down over there. Or you could say this.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That's what you could say. Jay, you missed out on that.
That's awesome.
I heard about that. She's with Luke Rockhold. Yes, that's basically Rockhold has. He's danced around it, but that's what everyone's saying, that they've been hanging out and hitting the skins.
Hey, real quick, I know I'm messing up your guys' show right now. Did you guys talk about Bisping Henderson?
Yes, we did. Yeah, briefly. Like we did go in there with the Bisping Henderson, and we didn't get your guys' reaction, so let's get it. Basically, in a nutshell, personally, John and myself, we were kind of thinking that Henderson might have squeezed that one out the way it went down.
That's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I'm bringing it up too, man. Because I thought Henderson won too.
I'm sorry, Jay. What'd you say? What was the last part?
I said no. That's why I'm bringing it up. I thought Henderson beat him.
Oh yeah, I mean, I understand the argument that people have for Bisping. I kind of get it, and it's almost like the McGregor Diaz thing. I kind of get it, you know, when that fight, the second fight happened, so I could get both sides of that. But watching it live, man, that momentum swayed big time, and Henderson almost finished Bisping multiple times.
Exactly.
No,
I think those power shots he hit him with, they should count more than, like, dude, he knocked him down. What was it, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah, he did. Dan, what do you think on that one? The Bisping Henderson fight.
Oh, I don't know if you guys saw me in the comments. I'm a huge Henderson fan, dude. I wanted him to. Oh my god, I wanted him to kill him, dude.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see him go out, fly out, you know, with a bang and a belt, and just take his smoking hot wife and take off. that would have been awesome. I think that's a story a lot of people want to see, and I like Bisping a lot, and I'm a fan of his shit. Anyone that talks shit, I'm a fan. But in that situation, I did want to see Henderson win.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you gonna do? I see Clark Kent wants to Fook Demi. She's not bad. She's easy on the eye.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure everybody in this room.
The problem is Luke Rockhold's probably prettier than her. You know, when he probably walks around, he probably looks better in the dress than Demi Lovato, because he's a very pretty man, and it makes me sick to my stomach. I want to Fook. I want to Fook and puke. Oh man, I miss Dad. I miss Dad's. Well, I don't know what he's talking about. Get irrelevant celebs. The Fook away from UFC. All right, King Clan does not want to talk about irrelevant celebs, but I mean, Clark Kent wants to Fook Demi, so. And I think all of us would. Best top 10 ever. I'm sure Henderson won. I'm not sure. Did you watch the fight? Best top 10? I can't remember. That chat was flying at one point, so I couldn't really see everything. And so was I. Myself and John. We were scotching it up. It's John was, not me.
The gentleman's drink. The gentleman's drink.
Can pace beat us both out in the amount of scotch we drank, though.
Dan, we're not sure of an age or anything. We don't even have a face. But if you're of age, I'm assuming you are because you have a mature voice. What is your choice of poison? Too late. Time's up. All right, Dan. Nice talking now. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I gotta go with you on Scotch, man, for sure. Like, okay, so. Well, I have too many stories to go with that, but I mean, I'm trying to think of the best story off the top of my head. I've had watching Browns get killed, and then I've had to douse myself in Scotch.
I think that's a lot of Scotch the way they lose.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's terrible.
You know what?
It's ugly.
I'm gonna start taking up Scotch the way the fucking Giants are losing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of losing going on around here.
Speaking of the Giants, man, tell Sterling Shepard he needs to get a touchdown.
Oh, is he on your fantasy
Jesus
team?
Christ.
He is, yes.
Yeah, he looks like, as Jay would say, Jay's famous line is dog shit, right, Jay? He looks like dog.
Maybe he'll get a touchdown if somebody gives Eli more than a fucking second to throw the ball.
Yeah, really.
It's a frustrating watch. The best top 10 ever says, I'm sure Henderson won, but I think the UFC wanted Bisping to keep that belt. And he says Henderson was going to retire, and I just think that it would be a bad scenario. So that's what the best top 10 says. Clark Kent, respect to Bisping, though, but I love Hendo, okay? Luke Demi's a cockhold. In a cockhold, all right? Luke Demi's a cockhold. All right. So King Clan is saying that Luke, wait, what? Maybe Luke Rockhold is cock strangling Demi Lovato. I think that's what he's trying to say. I'm his dad. Milk on the rocks. Oh, milk on the rocks. There you go.
Dang. I'm his dad. Oh, my God.
He's dangerous with that milk on the rocks.
Dude, I'm his dad talking so much in the chat right now.
All right, King Clan, laugh out loud. Clark Kent, water on the rocks. Okay, water. We have a water on the rocks and we have a milk on the rocks. A lot of dangerous people inside this chat. Daniel probably has never tried. I'm his dad is targeting Daniel hard.
Dude, I'm his dad. I was about to say, you got to get in this chat, man. But you know what? I'm about to have to get in charge of this chat room pretty soon. Give me the boot.
I see some beef. I see some beef between the MMA holes. I'm his dad. If you have a hangouts, we have to do it live on the air and sort out our differences. All right, Joey Mount, check your email. Okay, I will do it after the show. It's probably, if it's a dick pic, I'm gonna be pissed. Well, John will like it.
That would be awesome.
Big
Hairy balls.
I'm glad I gave out my business email. This way, I'll have business emails and I'll have big hairy cock pics. That's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fun to sort through that.
Cock pics.
Oh shit. So that's that. That wraps up the Henderson Bisping extravaganza, which was fun. Jay, did you wind up getting a chance to see the fights, or how did that work?
Nah, I'm a big highlight guy.
I like it. Around. Well, there was a lot of highlights in that fight, and Dan Henderson, he went out swinging, and that's all you can ask for. Dan Henderson swinging away. Dominic Cruz fight. Van Zandt. Here, so Johnny dropped the Van Zandt. Paige Van Zandt, who is super duper hot, versus the Karate Hottie. Johnny.
Too.
She's good too, yeah. That's the Hottie versus Hottie contest. I keep on getting sidetracked by that chat. That chat is very distracting. So what do you guys think on this one? Van Zandt, Karate Hottie, the battle of the babes. The Karate Hottie's been out for a little while. It's got to be over a year now, right? When was the last time the Karate Hottie fought? And
Last time she fought. Pull up a card.
Let's find out. Karate. Like that accent. Hey, what else is going on, man? We haven't had you on the show in a while.
A lot of work, man. A lot of work.
Yeah, busy. Busy. Karate Hottie. Michelle Karate Hot Hair. Stats and pictures. Okay, guys, you ask and I deliver. The Karate Hottie. Jay, you ever watch the Karate Hottie fight? She's good.
No.
She's a good one. Now, this picture does her no justice. I throw it up on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, she looks like the Karate Pitbull there.
Nah, she's
cute. She is cute. Okay, well, if you know what, here, this helps out. If you look at these beautiful boots, what the fuck? They're gorgeous, guys. For your significant other, there are some beautiful boots. Or John, if you would like that, yeah, you could have them too.
I like it.
Okay, so I'm going to shrink this. So the Karate Hottie is next to Paige Van Zandt. And look at the picture for Paige Van Zandt. They both got the living snot knocked out of them before those pictures. 7-2-0, 13-4-0. Okay. Now, let's see. This is what I went here for. I wanted to see July 12th of 2015. There you go. There's the answer. Karate Hottie has not been around in a little while. And Herb Dean, I wonder if he stopped that fight too short. I can't remember.
Probably.
Dan, what's your thoughts on Herb Dean? What's your thoughts on that guy?
Like what you mean? Like,
well, I mean, as a ref, do you think he's one of the better refs? Like a lot of people, people are cold and hot with Herb Dean. Some people really like him. I noticed Dana White says a lot of good things about him. And
Yeah,
then
I don't. No, I don't really understand all that much about him. I mean, yeah, I know Dana White loves him, but me personally, not the biggest fan. It's hard to say with him. Personally, I think Dana White needs to calm down about him because he talks about him like every single day.
yeah, he's definitely a big fan of the guy. Even when there's some questionable calls, Dana White seems like he's like he kind of jumps to it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, hold on here. I see pussy liquid on the cocks. Oh God. Holy shit. All right. So that's from King Clan. All right. If you guys want to know, pussy liquid on the cocks from King Clan. Okay. Let's check out this chat. Jim Lip. Yo, think the Giants have it bad. I'm a Jets fan. Yes, you do have it pretty bad. Joey Mouse, you're missing out, bro. I'm telling you. Your listeners will thank you, dude. Joey Mouth he's spewing some good stuff here. We'll find out if Joey Mouth's legit, but if he is, we'll check it out. Let's see, Joey Mouth, stop with your propaganda BS. Crackhead Bruno Mars looking fuck. All right, I missed that. Is going after Joey Mouth. Oh boy, here we go, and here we go. Since I have the cage here, do you guys want to just jump in this thing and just square off? Because I mean, hey, it would make for good streaming. Chris, seriously, dude, I'm not pushy guy, but I don't think you went to a game on your show. Us. You'll see eventually. Okay. Jay, do you have any of this chat? Are you guys looking at this chat? Okay, that's actually a good deal on those boots. That's from I Miss Dad. So I Miss Dad likes that deal, and you would look great in those boots, I Miss Dad. Nice pink, fluffy boots. They would look nice.
Nice. They'll definitely bring out his eyes.
All right, they're talking shit. There we go. Okay, there we go. Dan, what are you talking about? Now best top 10 is going after Dan.
Oh boy, they're ganging up on me. Sorry, man. I'm playing 2K17.
So basically, that's how this works, guys. When we started this channel, we knew there was gonna be a lot of ball busting. We actually encouraged the ball busting because we're a bunch of idiots. We're named the MMA-holes for God's sakes. We have thick skin and big cocks. I'm not even drinking tonight. Am I jealous? All right, more than you know, Chris. Jealous Wednesday. What the? I don't know what the hell is going on in this thing. The best top 10. Who the fuck? King Clan says.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That's what King Clan says. Okay. That's how that works. Okay. So we got a couple of things. We have a couple of things that we talked about. Let's go back. So what do you guys think about the Cowboy Cerrone? He's been spewing off a little bit about McGregor thing. I think me and John are a little split on this one with Cowboy's comments. So Jay, I don't know if you heard any of this stuff. You know, Cowboy, anytime he's been interviewed, everyone loves to bring up McGregor. Anytime someone gets interviewed, McGregor gets brought up. And Cowboy pretty much.
Yeah, because first of all, no, I was gonna say, you know how Cowboy is. Cowboy's a straight hooker, bro. He'll do anything for money. So every time he's gonna bring up McGregor because that's his payday. But listen, I don't think they should fight. I don't see that coming.
So you don't think? Yeah, right now the stars don't line up for that. It doesn't seem to work. But if someone falls out of the contest, like McGregor says, Cowboy is always the guy that likes to slip in. It would be funny to rearrange fights and see him jump in. I think Cowboy would be a terrible matchup for Conor McGregor. I do feel that would be the case. But you never know. That's why they fight. The question would be, does Cowboy dislike Conor, or is he playing into the game because he's lobbying for the fight?
He's lobbying for the fight, bro. It's only money.
What's that, Johnny?
They talked about this exact. They actually talked about it in detail tonight about this. First off, all three of them, Cormier, Florian, and the other girl, the dark-haired girl. They all said that McGregor would give Cowboy a lot of trouble because Cowboy, apparently, I didn't know this, loses a lot of fights to lefties, can't handle southpaws. That's the first thing. But they also brought up everything that Cowboy's been saying, like how McGregor doesn't stay in the locker room with the other guys because none of them like him, and he told the whole thing at the press conference when he told them this guy just talks a lot of shit. So they think it's like Jay said, he wants the money fight. and all three of them think that McGregor will beat him. Actually,
Dan, what do you think on this one?
Sorry, I'm looking at the beef between Joey and I miss Dad.
Yeah, that's it. See, now you can see now that you're in on the Hangouts, it's tough, man, because your eyes keep wandering over to that chat, try to hold the conversation, and it's tough to multitask. Basically, Cowboy and is Cowboy lobbying for a fight, running in his mouth, or does he really dislike Conor McGregor?
You know what? My opinion, I don't think any of these fighters dislike each other. Man, we fight. At the end of the thing, you shake hands, you get the fuck out of there. Very few really hate each other. You know what I mean? You saw it with Diaz, you saw it with McGregor. Respect, and then you leave. You're an athlete. That's what you do. You fight for the money. You don't fight for nothing else.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty funny. I was looking. I don't
get paid blood.
I put my email into the chat room to break it off. So I'm not sure what's going on. Joey's like, if you would check your chat. I did put the email in the chat. It's chris@duplexentertainment.com. And I didn't receive any emails, so I'm not sure. I'm very curious of what is going on. Maybe I missed something. Maybe Joey is not. I don't know. Or maybe he emailed someone else, and now they see beautiful pictures of him there. I don't know. But anyway. So, yeah, my opinion on that is I think it's a little bit of both. I think he's lobbying. You know, he would love to get the big money fight. I just feel in his voice when he says that he's a fighter and he would fight for anything. I think he dislikes McGregor. He's just not about that shit talking and stuff like that. He wants, if you look at him in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, he's shaking hands, you know, he's goofing around. He's all about having fun and kicking ass. So I think his mentality is just to go out and just fuck people up. And I think he wants to fuck up the Irishman. I think that's what he said. I noticed in the chat, someone said, was it best top 10 ever said, Cowboy got his ass whooped when he fought Nate Diaz. That's a correct statement. He did get his ass whooped. It's intriguing. You look at Dos Anjos against Cowboy, ass whooping. Nate Diaz, ass whooping. And then you look at Cowboy fighting these other fights and just whooping ass. So it's like, what Cowboy are you going to get in these fights? It's bizarre. But maybe 170.
I agree with you.
You think 170 is his weight class? Is that where he belongs? Or could he come back to 155 and cause a ruckus?
Well, I don't think McGregor should ever fight at 170 again. Ever. If he ever goes up there, he's a fucking retard. 155 is his weight.
All right. All right, they're going out in the chat. We're going to have to put on the gloves in the chat. In the chat room, we're going to have to, let's all get along. We can talk smack. I have no problem with talking smack. But, you know, have a little fun with it. Don't take things too serious, guys. We're all here to have fun. And like I said, Joey, I did put the email into the thing. I didn't receive anything, so that's okay. And I miss Dad. We love you. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't make me sick Dan on you. Dan's a very vicious person. I could tell by his voice. We call Dan the pit bull, the MMA-hole pit bull. If things get out of control, we sick Dan on you, and he rips your face off with his toe.
Yeah, that's my nickname in high school, the pit bull.
Danny the pit bull. So it was pretty funny. On the Saturday show, we had a couple of cocktails. We were drinking. Jay, I'm going to fill you in on what happened. And we got a little crazy. We went to Johnny's, and we watched these fights, and it got to the point where it got a little silly. The chat was just stupid going. We had up to like 220 some odd viewers at one point, just blasting away in the chat room, everyone laughing, having a good time. And it was a lot of fun. We had a giveaway. We had a whole bunch of stuff, and we were rolling. So I feel very confident about this channel. I feel strong. I see these things, Jason. I see these things. I don't know what I see. I see Jay falling asleep. I think his eyes are closing. Let's all sing Jay.
No, hold on. Jason goes to sleep.
It's good to have Jay and Dan joining us with John. This is a good time. Let's see. How's this chat doing? Is everyone calm down? Okay, let's see. I emailed the email. You put it up. If it's correct, you got them. Okay, let's check again. We're double checking. I'm actually intrigued by this because, hey, if this is the situation, we would love to team up with you. You know, that'd be awesome. I don't have it. I don't know. Yeah, let me, I'm going to drop that email into the comments again. I'll try one more time. And as I do this, John is going to sing a song to everybody. Ready, John? 1, 2, 3. Go ahead.
No.
Love that song, John.
Never heard that
So
song
I'm gonna
before.
I'll tell you guys a story. So apparently, on the UFC tonight, Chris Weidman had a fit because he was supposed to fight Bisping. He was apparently, Dana White said, was promised this fight by Lorenzo before the takeover. So once they sold the company, he basically got screwed out of the fight and went to Lorenzo's house and actually had a little pow-pow with him about this. Very interesting.
Well, listen, if Weidman wins this fight, right, he had a shot at the title.
I think the winner of this fight gets the title. Agreed.
Okay, Joey, I received your email. I see it. I see your number over there. I can send you a message, continue the conversation either through email or through the phone number on there, and we'll touch base. I got you. Okay, Joey's in. And we will lock that up. Sorry, John. So we were talking about UFC tonight. I'm sorry, I zoned out for a second. I was checking Joey Mouth, the business thing. And that would be an interesting thing if we could gather the MMA holes together for a live broadcast. Maybe we could put Jay into a pretzel in the octagon there. Or maybe Jay can eat a pretzel.
Or maybe Jay will just start cracking some fucking heads in the octagon. That's what I do. I should get involved in this shit.
So John, I'm sorry. So let's get back to what you were saying about this. What's it called? This UFC tonight information.
I'll just give you the long story short again. It's just apparently Weidman was promised by Lorenzo before the sale the shot at Bisping, and then apparently got ripped out from under him, and he went to Dana White, and Dana White said, "Listen, I didn't make this deal with you. I'm sorry, but we already set the fight up with Henderson." So they actually, both of them, Dana White and Weidman, flew from New York to talk this over with Lorenzo, who doesn't really give a shit anymore because he sold the company. But apparently Weidman was pretty pissed that he lost. This is where all his anger is coming from. Is he had this title was promised to him against Bisping in New York, and then they sold the company and he got fucked.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Dana White.
Yeah, the what's it called? Lorenzo and Chris Weidman are supposedly great buds. They're good pals. And when they were discussing this last situation, Dana White went out to dinner with Chris Weidman and said, "Listen, you have to go to Lorenzo and talk to him to finish the deal." They couldn't even finish the deal until he spoke to Lorenzo. So I think he was owed some more money. And Lorenzo is super cool with him, and they have a cool, respectful thing. Weidman goes over to Lorenzo's house. And Lorenzo apparently lives in a fortress. He lives like in this huge castle. I mean, I believe it with all the money they made off of that. And they finished up the deal, and that was that. Yeah, I don't think Chris Weidman's too thrilled about this whole thing. I think he wants to get his shot at Bisping, but at the same time, he wants to fight in New York. So it's the only chance he had. I would have liked to see him Weidman rock hold again, but it's kind of a slap in the face to Jacare and Yoel Romero. Who cares, But Jacare, he's been up there. He deserves his shot. So I guess they did it right, at least for New York. That is.
Well, they did it right, but you got to understand where Weidman's coming from. He loses to Romero. He's not going to get a title shot for a while.
You know what's funny? I didn't realize that Yoel Romero is 39 years old. He does not look 39 at all. He looks, maybe the juice gave him youth. Yoel Romero, youth, a youthful lad. What do you think of that fight? Let's go around the ring. Whoa, around the octagon. Let's talk about Weidman, Yoel Romero. Okay, let's talk about that. In UFC 205, I'd like to break that down considering we're going to be seeing Chris Weidman very soon. Chris Weidman versus Yoel Romero. I pull it up on the screen because I make these things happen. I see these things. Okay, you have a very good-shaped Chris Weidman, and then you got a freaking action figure over here in Yoel Romero. You got Cuba versus U.S., and you have a good fight between the two. It should be a fun one. What do you guys think? We're going to go around the horn, and we're going to see your thinks and your picks on Chris Weidman versus Yoel Romero. Johnny, what do you think on this one?
You know what? Romero, who was he fighting that time? Bader, where he decided to sit in the corner and wait for the, for the second round to start 10 minutes late. Was that who he was fighting that time, Chris?
That was Tim Kennedy. Yeah, that was the Kennedy fight, which is another. Romero has a lot of controversial stuff. Shh, Jay's yawning. Shh. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm almost there, bro. I'm almost there.
No, yeah, that was Tim Kennedy. I think it was his last fight, and Yoel Romero, didn't come out of his corner. They should have stopped it. He was done. He came back and wipes out Tim Kennedy. A lot of controversy. And I think he fought Jacare after that one, if I'm not mistaken. We can look. And that was the other controversial fight. And then here he is, Yoel Romero. He looks a little bit like a rapper. He looks like The Game. You don't know The Game? Here's The Game. And I talk like these. Okay. Here we go, Yoel Romero. Yeah, Souza was the last one, December 5th. Wow, December. Oh, that's right, because he got suspended after that. Machida, I forgot about that one. Yeah, so he fought Kennedy. That was the weird one where he didn't come out of the corner. Then you have Leo Machida. Then you have Jacare Souza, which is another controversial one. And that's when he spewed out all the weird religious stuff. I don't know what the hell he was saying after that. He was saying something anti-gay. I don't know what the hell was going on. But he was saying something. Little break in the action. Now he's fighting Chris Weidman. It's interesting. This is an interesting one, boys. So who do you think? If you had a pick, this doesn't have to be your final pick. What do you think? Do you think Chris Weidman has a good shot at this one, or you think Yoel Romero could run away with this?
I think Weidman's going to win the fight. I think he's one of those guys that it's going to take a lot to beat him. You know, even the Rockhold fight you guys seen, he made a stupid mistake. He could have very easily won that fight. Weidman's a top-notch fighter, not because I like him. I just think he's at the top of his game. I think he's got a lot to prove. I could definitely see him. I don't think he's not going to wipe the floor with this guy, but he's going to suffocate him, get him to the floor. It's going to be a dirty fight, and I think Weidman's going to beat him. Yeah.
Let's see. Hold up. Mike died looking for a charger. That's Dan the Man. Dan the Man's Mike died. He's looking for a charger. Okay. What's it called? Weidman, he's very confident in this fight. It looks like he thinks he's just going to run this dude over. He's already saying, all the steroid stuff and TRT and whatever the hell he was on. He's a cheater. He's going to make him pay, and he's going to run him over. And Weidman, when you hear him talk, it's tough not to pick the guy because the guy thinks he's going to win. Jay, what do you think on this one? Soldier of God versus Chris Weidman.
No, I'm going to lean on Weidman, too. I think he's going to win. I think he's the better fighter. Come off for the juice. They're never the same anyway.
All right.
So he's big. He's not going to win. Oh, there goes Mikey.
So Mike is in the chat. Okay, so now we have a lot. Excuse me for a second. We have a lot of MMA holes. We have breaking news. Mexican is here. Luke Thompson is hacking the network again. And we have MMA holes all over the place right now. We have them in the chat. We have them down below. Mike, let me tell you, we have John, we have Jay, and we have Dan the Man is live with us. How do you feel about this, Mike?
I feel good, but I don't see Dan the Man. I see Jay's big head. So that's it.
Dan is here. We can confirm Dan is here. We hear his voice.
What up? All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to get my mic or my charger.
What up, Dan? So what I'm doing right now is illegal. So I've had a few beverages tonight, and I'm driving home, and the phone is in front of my face. So this may be the first and last time you see me.
And you're streaming and driving. Wow.
Streaming and driving kills friendships.
This is how you know you're a true MMA hole, when you stream and drive with a beverage.
So I'm his dad has been waiting for you to come in, Mike. He's been dying for you to come in, and he goes, I'm his dad. I don't know if you remember I'm his dad. You had a couple of cocktails.
Of course I do. I'm his dad's my man. He was busting my chops about my hair.
There's the drunk driver I was looking for earlier. That's from I'm his dad.
Yes. It's all good. I had a beverage. I'm not drunk. I'm just feeling good.
All right, boys. It's that time. I'm bouncing.
All right, Jason. We see you getting a little tired. We thank you for coming in, gracing us with your presence. We love hanging with you. So thank you, Jay.
It's always a pleasure to talk with my fellow MMA holes.
I'm just glad you got those Ronda Rousey zingers in. We needed that because it was too much. There was too much sucking her off. So you came in and saved the day.
Yeah.
Where's it go? Yell's hung up.
Johnny is here. Wait. Oh, did we lose John? I think
we lost him.
We lost John. I saw his picture went out, and then he just fell off. And I think John,
Fell asleep.
maybe he fell into his iPad.
Yeah, John's drooling on his.
What do you think about my cage? What do you think about it? Actually, don't look. You're driving.
I'm good. I'm in bumping above traffic. It's good. Okay, you can see I'll let everybody see my view. This is what I'm doing right now. Traffic.
Oh God, there's lovely. Look, you can't beat it. If you get pulled over, make me a promise that you will put the cop on the MMA-HOLES.
You know it.
All right. So King Clan says the main reason I love the UFC so much is anyone can win. Anything can happen in the octagon. That is, I hear myself talking through a mic. That's pretty cool. Anything can happen, King Clan. Anything can happen in the octagon. That's why we watch. That's why we like. I'm a sports nut. I love sports. I am everything about sports. Big hockey fan, big baseball, football, basketball, everything. I like sports a lot. Mixed martial arts is like just leaps past everything else. There's something about this sport that just gets me going, man. It's got everything you need in a sport. It's got the drama, it's got the intensity, it's got the build up. It's got women, it's got men, it's got everything. It appeals to such a wide audience all around the world. Everyone has a fighter. Everyone has someone they root for. Everyone has someone they root against. It's epic, man. It's such an epic sport, and it's so frequent. It's constantly going on. My wife wants to kill me because every weekend seems like there's an event. Dan, how did you get into mixed martial arts? Were you a lifelong fan, or did you come on recently, or what?
Yeah, really recently. My dad's a big fan, and I guess past maybe, I would say 8 months, I've only gotten into it as much as I have. I mean, don't get me wrong. For me personally, I put football and baseball in front, maybe, and then MMA throw that third in terms of my favorite.
Okay, so
I've only recently got into it.
That's fine. That's okay. We take in everybody. We take all MMA holes. Me personally, it's been. I'm trying to think how long it's been with me. It's probably been between 6.5, 7 years, somewhere around there. And
Nice.
but it was a slow obsession in the beginning. It was a slow obsession. I started with the Ultimate Fighter. How many years ago was that? I'm trying to think. I mean, it's got to be around 6.5 years. That's what I'm guessing. I'm going to do the math, but it's been a little bit. And dude, I became slowly more and more obsessed to the point where it would just consume me. Like even before McGregor, it was just something about it, just so much fun to watch. My father used to watch it when it was like, the 80-pound guy versus the 400-pound guy, and they would just throw him in a cage and beat the crap out of each other. And when I was a kid, I was like, what the hell is this guy watching? This is insane. But now they regulate it. They made it more of like a sport, and it's exploded. Ronda Rousey came into the game. Brock Lesnar game. When Brock came in, it was a wrap. It got a whole new audience in there. I don't know if you came on the Brock train or the Ronda train or the Conor train, but man, it's wild what those people did to the sport.
Yeah, I know Conor was a big one. He's like the Happy Gilmore of MMA. I mean, and then when you get like WWE guys like what's his face, Punk, Punk, and then Brock Lesnar, that gets like a lot of people coming in for sure.
Yeah, a lot of these old school people that have been watching it for years are like, oh, UFC sold out because you're getting all these new viewers and stuff like that. But the new viewers that came on are what's making the sport crazy and incredible and making it even better and better and making it more of a show and a production. So I embrace more fans. The more fans, the better. The only thing that sucks is if you want to go to a fight now, it's through the roof. It's so freaking expensive. Like the Garden has been insane. The tickets are just obnoxiously high. So that kind of sucks. That part.
Yeah, the Cleveland tickets were insane.
Really, how much were they going for? Say if you were going to sit in nosebleeds, the Cleveland. That's on the Miocic. I mean, everyone was probably going nuts over that over there.
Oh, I just asked my father to get me some tickets for my birthday, and he just said, like, you know what, you don't even want to know what they were. So I didn't even check personally, but if I were to guess, I mean, worst seat. I mean, worst seat top. I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say 120 per ticket, and that's just the worst seat. I mean, I'm not paying. I don't think I'd do that. You know, you're up high.
I 10 of them.
Oh, you would? Yeah, I don't know.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna cut this short real quick. I see Joey Mouth has put my name in multiple messages. CHRIS. That is my name. Joey, I just actually, while we were talking, I was multitasking.
Yeah.
And I did see your emails. I just got the emails. Mike, so now Mike is in the chat, and Mike would be the person to talk to right now because Mike is the guy that's hooking us up with this whole what's it called photo shoot thing with the Weidman and the Wonder Boy. Now, Mike, you hear me for a sec?
I hear you.
Okay, so Joey Mouth, I don't know if you remember Joey Mouth. He came in, I want to say during last Wednesday show, one of the Wednesday shows. Joey Mouth came in, he lit up the chat and was a good friend of ours. And he popped in and he basically, apparently, I'm assuming from what I get out of this, he works or he works out in a gym that happens to be one of the big gyms. He wants to make this happen. So basically, he's got some connections with some of the fighters, and he sent pictures through via email. He looks like he's pretty legit, and he would love to do a live stream from the gym. How do you feel about that, Mikey?
Listen, I think it's a no-brainer. Anybody that wants to show us some respect like that and some love and wants to integrate, you know, some of their love and hook up to UFC, MMA, whatever you got, we're down for that. I think that's great. We're going to try to do the same on October 25th. Me and Chris will be live from a photo shoot with Weidman and Wonder Boys. We're going to try to get some sound bites.
So, yeah, that's basically how we want to do this. We want to broadcast from all different events. And the beauty of YouTube is basically if you have a Wi-Fi signal or if you could tether it off of something, as long as you have a computer or a phone or anyway, we could have a show anywhere, anytime. So I would love to do these shows where other fighters are, talk to these fighters, and just have an intimate interaction between the fighters and the fans. Not this you know, you see these other guys like Ariel Helwani who does a fantastic job and has all these fighters in. You know, it's all business. You know, they goof around a little bit. It's all business. It'd be funny hearing fans talk to fighters. Fans are different. They have different questions. They want to know different things. So
speaking of which is very interesting. So we're talking about questions, and I'm not the one to brag, but I'm going to brag. So it's a pretty big deal that the company that I work for was able to secure such an exclusive cover. It's something we've never done before. We're always used to having these cheesy celebrities and, you know, people that we don't really give a shit about. So to have something that really resonates with the New York City community, something that's been, you know, in the works for several years, if not a decade, is a big deal. And we're one of the very few companies to capitalize on it. So I'm sorry I'm not looking at you guys. I'm driving and streaming, so it's quite illegal. But anyway, what was exciting today is that deals with Weidman and Wonder Boy. I work with a team of people that have no idea and no your MMA. So, Chris, one bit of good news is that we're going to be tasked, you and I, to come up with questions that are actually going to appear in the magazine.
So Mike is saying he wants questions that are going to come up in the magazine. So, guys, this is a cool opportunity. Mike gave me actually a real cool opportunity. He let me write a little blog about Conor McGregor before he got strangled by Nate Diaz, but I was pretty much sucking him off in this little blog about why Conor McGregor is so great, 5 reasons. And it was so cool. Vegas Magazine threw it out there. It was really cool. Mike has some really cool hooks. And it was one of the coolest things, you know, and I got paid for it. That was pretty cool too, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. But
listen, you know what? We're only as good as the audience and the people have questions, and I'd be curious to know if you have any questions that you think would be, you know, a cool question that can appear in the magazine. Now, listen, that doesn't mean your name's going to be in the magazine. It just means if there's a question you've always wanted to answer or ask, if you had Chris Weidman and Wonder Boy in front of you, if you had one question, what would that question be? And if you have something you think is cool, important, and maybe the viewers and the public want to know, shoot it on the chat. Let us know what that question is.
So I see people are having problems with the audio. I don't know. Are you guys hearing us okay? I'm not sure if the stream quality is good. We have Dan the Man on the show. We have Mike on the show. And Mike is saying, if you can hear us, hopefully you can hear us. He would like to have questions for the fighters by the fans, by the MMA-holes, not fans, friends. That's what we are. We're all a bunch of friends. Very nice. Mike, that's pretty cool, man. I dig it, man. If this we got Dan the Man chuckling. I'm assuming you're looking into that chat because
Yeah,
So,
Mexican
I like
says he's like, "Am I the only one that can't hear shit, or is it the stream on my Obama phone?"
oh man, these guys are the best. Mexican's a funny dude, man. Funny dude.
Yeah.
It goes in and out at times. So Imastad says the stream is going in and out at times. Ugh, so annoying, man. So annoying. The live stream thing is a tough thing, especially with YouTube. It's like a new thing, and I guess because it's streaming high resolution stuff, I don't even think it's coming through high resolution. I'm looking at the stream now; it doesn't look very high resolution. But I just hope that everyone could hear us and see my beard, because that's why I'm here, to show off this magical beard. And there it is. You're welcome.
Speaking of the beard, and I'm not sure if I'm late in the game here, but I just saw a video on YouTube of the interview between Conor McGregor and Jimmy Kimmel. I believe that was recent from a few days ago. Did everybody catch that?
No, wait, Conor McGregor on Jimmy Kimmel? I didn't see it.
Yep, yeah, with Dana White. It looks like it was out on Monday.
No, I missed it. I got to see that. Was it anything good?
Well,
Anything
it was entertaining, and it's also about UFC 205, and it was kind of funny. You know, it was nice. It was actually cool to see Conor McGregor actually humbled. And it looks like he was a little starstruck by Jimmy Kimmel. And, he actually was a lot different than you would expect at a press conference, which I thought was, spoke about, a little bit about his life and his history and how he grew up, as well as his obsession with materialistic items and where he spends most of his money. Dana White was also on and spoke a little bit about his history and how he bought UFC for $2 million and sold it for $4 billion. So kind of an interesting interview.
I got to check that out. Anytime he's interviewed, it's usually a good time, man. It's usually some funny stuff. But yeah, he always has that. He does. He seems like a humble dude, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of it's an act, clearly.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so I'm his dad. Okay, he's out. When's the next show? The next show will be Wednesday. We do it every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. There is no fight. This fight got canceled this weekend, so that's not happening. No surprise shows, no scheduled shows. Wednesday at 9 p.m. We'll have more to talk about then. And if you guys have Google Hangouts, you could jump in like Dan or Daniel, however we like to call him, or however he likes to be called. Jump in on a hangout. How do you like it, Dan? Dan or Daniel?
Yeah, Dan's fine.
Okay. All right. So that's that. At Joy, what are you being such a? What is this? Oh, he's talking to Joey. Joey, I did see your pictures. And very cool, man. It seems like you've been around the block and you've seen a lot of celebrities. I like that. I enjoyed the pictures. Very nice. And we will touch base with you. And maybe we could gather the holes together and get this party started. Get this broadcast going in places instead of my cage. This cage is very, very lonely in here. I'm sad. No, I'm not.
By the way, where the hell did you get that background?
I'm in an octagon. I ripped through it for the broadcast. I ripped through it with my teeth. I was like, oh, it's Wednesday. It's 9 p.m. I better get... I just started ripping through it like a lunatic.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, it does, right? It's very realistic. It is very realism. All right, the interview was months ago, but it was great. Oh, that was the... Oh, okay. So, Mike, yeah. That Jimmy Kimmel one... yeah, I've seen that one. That's an old one.
All right, so you know what? And, forgive me because I must have missed it, but someone else reposted on YouTube, and it was as of this Monday. So sometimes you don't really get the date and it didn't show when the original broadcast was. So, but anyway, good interview. It was funny. I might be late in the game, but I still enjoyed it.
King Clan is saying, scroll up. What did I miss, King? Obama phone. Not sure what I missed. Scrolled up, but I didn't see anything. King Clang, I wouldn't mind that change. But hold on. King Clang, I wouldn't mind that change. My messages are posting twice. Okay, I'm not sure. Sorry. I'm reading the chat. I'm not sure what's going on in there. Yeah, so I did see that, Mike. I did see that interview. If it's the one I'm thinking about. It was actually pretty funny. I did see that interview. And, yeah, that's right. Dana White was on as well. That was good stuff. Mike, can you do me a favor? Mike and Dan, do me one favor. I'm going to climb out of this cage for 1 second. We're going to go on for a little bit longer. If you guys are here to like to talk, I like to talk some more. But more importantly, I have to take a piss. So before I piss,
Who the fuck is that guy?
I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. So, guys, hold on 1 second. I'll be back. I'm going to leave the cage, and I'll be right back.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a Dan show. I mean, oh my God, I'm not capable of hosting a internet show, but I don't want to leave it in the hands of the guy that's driving, so I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of just sitting here right now, and I wish I could actually look at the computer or the screen rather. But driving is probably not the best thing I should be doing right now, or at least streaming as I drive. But you know what? You live once. Hopefully, I live another day and get home. But it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, if we were gonna go, you might as well go on the MMA-HOLEs.
There you go. No, it's good. I'm only a great 2 exits away from my home, so I'm good to go.
No, nice. All right.
Traffic has subsided. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Whew. Save the show.
Dan took over. He didn't want to leave it in the hands of the drunk streamer. Oh, Chris doesn't hear me. Hey, Chris.
Sorry about that. I had to piss. It was bad.
It's all good. Dan took over because he didn't want to leave it in the hands of the drunk streamer, so we're good to go.
Drinking, driving, and streaming.
Yeah, ratings just spiked up by 50% because I was taking over.
Dan, that's good. We need people to fill in on the MMA-HOLEs because I tell you what, after that Saturday show, I was rocking. I was pretty lit up. I was pretty tuned up. I might not have shown it, but I felt it afterwards. And we know V-neck was pretty bad.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of subscribers that day.
Yeah, it was cool. Yo, it spiked up real good. So what we figured out is those fight shows, you know, the fight, we call them the fight buddies, but it's kind of like that Joe Rogan fight companion. It seems like that's where I checked out the analytics, and it said the Joe Rogan thing, 92% of the viewers that we had jumped from the Joe Rogan and over to our show. So that was kind of cool. I think they were looking for the fight, and they just stumbled onto the MMA-HOLEs.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly, that's what I did. I was trying to look for the fight for free one night, and I found you guys. I'm like, oh, cool. They're answering questions and shit. And so I'm like, you know what? Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So yeah, we have to piggyback off of that. And Dan, I gotta say, we enjoy your company. You're good people, and you're a certified MMA-HOLE. Hopefully, we'll have shirts. We want to have shirts. I think we need shirts. So that's going to happen one of these days. And we'll play the contest games, and we'll hand out shirts. We'll send shirts to the buddies.
You guys got a website?
We do Twitter. We do Facebook. And Johnny just started our Instagram page. We don't have a website yet.
That was John? I didn't know that.
Yeah, John started the Instagram. So the pictures of the naked women is John's doing. No, there's no naked women. But maybe. If times get rough, we'll put boobies.
Why does John have all these pictures of you then? That kind of concerns me.
Well, he has a secret. Actually, I think, speaking of John, I think he fell asleep. I think he literally fell asleep, and it just his head knocked him off of the broadcast, and that was it.
Once I signed on, he came off. I think he has a problem with me. I'm sure.
It could be the V-neck. Or maybe he just doesn't want you.
I'm wearing a crew today. I was afraid.
Oh man. Tell me a bit about Dan. So King Clan, I don't know. I'm just going. I mean, what's it called? Dan, I'm going back into the comments and I'm seeing what's going on here. Thanks, Bailey. What the fuck? Talk Dan. All right, Dan. Look, they love you. Can you count from 1 to 10? No, there you go. We can tell, because your kind of accent started to come out. Okay, that's Coach Bailey. Okay, Dan, you have any accents? You have any what's it called? Any impressions you would like to? Now that your voice is on the show, you could test your talents out with us.
I mean, I got a pretty mean British accent, but I don't know if I want to pull that out.
Go ahead, go for it. If you have any Scottish accents, you could do that for King Clan. I'm not a very good Scotsman. I don't know the accent very well. I don't know any accent.
I mean, I get my Australian and British one mixed up quite a bit, but I could go for it. I mean, maybe we could trade. Like you could do McGregor, and then I'll do like.
You want to do Bisbing? What do you say? We want to do McGregor versus Bisbing. We could do a little. And Mike, you could be Wonder Boy. All right, so we'll have Wonder Boy versus McGregor versus.
What is Wonder Boy? Hi, I'm Wonder Boy.
I don't know. He sounds like he's. I don't know. I don't want to say it because I don't want to say it because God forbid, it gets brought up when we meet the guy. So I'm not going to say it. But if we don't meet him, I'm gonna say it. Go ahead. All right. So hold on. Mike Mexican says he hopes that Mike hits a prostitute on the Jersey Turnpike.
I'm on the Jersey Turnpike. I don't live in Jersey, contrary to popular belief, with my really subtle accent. I am a New York City dude, born in Queens, and now I'm a certified FLID, which is a fucking Long Island douchebag. So, I live on Long Island.
All right, there you go. There you go. You heard it from Mike. He gave his little story there. I see. All right, so King Clan wrote a question for the fighters. If you scroll up, I've been scrolling up. I don't know where the hell I must have missed it. If you do want to hear the answer to that question, I would just jot it back in there real quick, and then we'll answer your question, King Clan. And remember, King Clan, we did not forget. You will get your autographed memorabilia, thanks to Michael, the drunk driver, going back to Long Island. And then we'll answer your question, King Clan. There you go. And it's my voice talking back to me. The teacher left the class. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Okay, so Mexican says, me too. That's exactly how I found you guys. So I guess you found looking for the fight. I think that's what happens. That's why I try to hashtag shit. Pay-per-view. See pay-per-view here. Like all my hashtags are like, live pay-per-view stream. I'm just hoping that people just stumble on our stupid show. And I'm like, fuck, you are, guys. You're with us, the MMA-holes. I'm glad you guys stumbled across us. There will come a time when you have so many viewers, you won't be able to keep up with the comments. Yeah, it's funny you say that because when I was looking at Luke the Fook Thomas, and I watched his comments going, dude, it's tough, man. I can't even write a comment on there and keep up with the people in there. Just everyone just rolling and rattling through. But fuck that guy. If I can still read your comments, I'm gonna read them.
How many views right now, Chris?
We got 13 watching right now. A nice, comfortable amount for a Wednesday show. If you guys are new to the show, let me explain what we do. Wednesday nights, okay, we do a show, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We talk MMA. We talk with the buds, the MMA-holes. We have Dan the Man. Dan the Man started watching us from the very beginning. So Dan the Man was like, hey, tonight's a special night. I'm going to join the guys. So here is Dan, gracing us with his presence. And Dan's here too. And if you guys want to join in, we can give you the link as well. But welcome. And remember, subscribe and thumbs up. And that's my pitch for the MMA-holes. Dan, can you do Zoolander accent? Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, maybe for my second annual appearance.
Really, really good looking. I was going to wear my Zoolander shirt tonight, actually. Merman. I was going to wear the shirt today. I was going to save it for next week while Dan does his accent.
Well, I mean, see, like, there's some days, I'll just be like, this dude out of the blue, like, for no reason, and then, like, I feel like if I do it, like, purposely, oh, my God, it's going to be so bad. I don't know if I want to try that out.
That's all right. We as long as, let's see, where is it? Where's the guy? What's his name? Dad something? I forgot his name again. I already forgot it. The guy that was talking. I'm his dad. Mike's guy, V-neck guy. If I'm his dad was here, I would say don't do the accent because he's going to get you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's coming after you. Looking for a nip slip. Coach Belly wants to see a nip slip. Mike, you could do that, right? You can do that while you're driving, a little nip slippage.
How's that?
All right. How do I sign out to Google Hangouts? All right, Joey Mouth wants to jump in. Google Hangouts is real simple. If you have an Android's the easiest, but I think you could do it on iPhone as well.
Yep, I'm on iPhone.
Okay, so there you go. Mike answered that. You can do it on Android or iPhone. All you got to do is download the app. If you have a Google account, a Google Gmail address, you can pretty much jump on. I send the link, you jump in, and that's how that works. We would like to hang, Joey Mouth.
And if you do, we like to disclose if you are using a Samsung Note 7, be careful of flames while on Google Hangouts.
Yes. We don't want anyone to light on fire. That would suck.
Nah, if you're using a Samsung Note Galaxy while driving, that's...
All right, Zepside says he came here looking for CM Punk, and he's been hooked. I like that, man. I like the hook. We got the hook in the mouth. We keep you here, and then we all entertain each other. In the chat, you guys entertain us more than we entertain you sometimes, and that's fun, man. Jesus saves. Coach Bailey. Coach Bailey, you were in for that, right? There was a religious freak that jumped in, and Dan the Man, did you see that one? The religious
one? Yeah, I'm the one, because you guys, I said, because you guys were talking about, like, ordering a pizza, and I'm like, and then you guys were saying, oh, where did the religious dude go? And I'm like, oh, he probably, like, went to go order a religious pizza or something like that, because, like, this dude, like, every chance he got, he was just like, sin, God, breathe. Like, I'm like, dude. This isn't church, man.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Like, oh, you know what? I just thought of something. We were going to get into, so a guy asked about Donald Trump. So I was like, no. Mike was all ready to jump on board because he's a political guy. And I like politics too, but not on the show. And one of my favorite YouTubers ever. I don't know if you guys watch Casey Neistat, but this guy is a beast on YouTube. He literally just put out a video recently on his political views and devoted where he wants you to vote. Like, he literally pushed his agenda on his YouTube audience. I was like, holy shit, man. That's hardcore. Not me. I'm not going to do that. But I don't know where I was going with that. I just wanted to let you guys know.
Just quick, Chris, I just got home. I need to unload my car a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to jump back on, so I'm going to sign up for a few minutes.
All right, so what I'm going to do is, as you're doing that, Mike, I'm going to hang out for a little bit. I got some time. I'm not going anywhere. I like talking to everyone. I'm going to take the Hangouts link, and here we go. I'm going to pop it into, into the chat. Let's see how this works. Okay, there's the Hangout link. Now remember, guys, if you have Google Hangouts, you could join me and Dan. We're here. We're live, broadcasting on a Wednesday night. I have a thumbs down. Thumbs down always gets a thumbs up. I mean, a middle finger up. Whoops, that must be a mistake. Anyway, whoever gave me the thumbs down, this is what I think. Whoop, I screwed that up. Let's try it again.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Okay, Conor McGregor says, who's that guy? I say, here's my Hangouts link. Send me a link. Relax, Joey Mouth. It's sent. I have a bad feeling about this, Dan. What do you think? Do you think Joey's going to come on here and go a little crazy?
Like, wait, was he the guy advertising his, like, whatever?
Yeah, one that said, he sent me the email and all that stuff. So I'm actually curious. I would like to talk to him because I like to see what he's got. You know, I'm interested. Let's see. I tried to post a comment and never showed up. That's from Powerhouse. There we go. Okay. There you go. There's your comment. I see you. You see me. And we're one big happy family. Thank you for the thumbs ups. I like that. As you can see, we work for thumbs ups. We're panhandling thumbs ups. I hate that video. Wait, hold on. Then he came back under a troll account. I hate that video. He said, vote Clinton. Oh, so you're talking to, Casey Neistat. Dude. Like, what the hell, man? And this guy, this guy's an inspiration. Casey Neistat, I don't know if you guys seen him. He's awesome, man. He's got some awesome vlogs and travels all over the world, does crazy stuff. And he's a New York guy like that. But his political shit, fuck that. Fuck that guy. All right, send me a link. We can talk some. Dude, okay, I sent it. Okay. So that's it. I think out loud, I talk out loud, I speak my mind. So, Dan, now that I'm trapped in this cage, what do you think? It's so realistic. Fuck, how am I gonna get?
Oh yeah, don't cut your finger on the end there.
Yeah, I should have wore my MMA gloves. This way I didn't, I don't cut my hands, but what are you going to do? That's that. So I got to say, I'm really pumped about this session, this photo session with Wyman and Wonder Boy. Mike, who was just in here, has the craziest hooks. He's flown us to Vegas for fights. We've met fighters on our Instagram page that just opened up at the MMA-HOLES. MMA-HOLES, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Instagram shows some of the pictures with us with the fighters. And it's cool, man. We meet some guys, and the MMA fighters are just the coolest guys to hang with. Real humble dudes and good people. That's another reason why I like the sport, too. It's not like you run into a baseball player on the street and you're getting mobbed with everybody and they don't want to be bothered. But these guys, they could kick your ass and they'll take a picture. And that's how
I heard McGregor is like really nice with that stuff.
Could you imagine this guy when he walks down the street? So in the chat on Saturday, a gentleman from Ireland was in there, and I don't know if you saw him. He said something like that Americans give this guy way more love than he gets back home. I'm curious how true that is. It might be.
I don't know.
It might be like David Hasselhoff. This guy over here is like, it's fucking David Hasselhoff. And then he goes to like Germany or some shit, and they're just like throwing their fucking bras at him. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really. Like, no one gave a shit about Tim Tebow when he's in the NFL. Now he's in baseball, and everyone's like, oh, man, he had a home run on his first pitch.
Out of all teams, Tim Tebow comes to the freaking Mets. I'm like, you kidding me? I'm like, Tim Tebow? What the hell? What are we going to do with this guy?
Hey, watch out, man. He's coming for you 2020. He's going to be a real good player.
Okay. You imagine the guy becomes like an amazing hitter. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be able to field well, but
No.
But he's definitely got to have power.
Well, he's probably got to go try for hockey after his MLB career goes.
Wait, hold on. I'm getting sidetracked here. It says, all right, the best top 10. I don't know if you're looking at the chat, but it says, no disrespect, guys. But what if Jesus died in a wheelchair? I'm assuming.
After his MLB career goes.
And it says, what would you. Wait, hold on. I don't get. Oh, wait, hold on. It says, I don't know if you're looking at the chat, but it says, no disrespect, guys.
What's up, dudes?
Hey, who is this? Is this Joey?
Finally, I'm on.
There he is. Wow, he's sounding good.
You don't gotta worry about me. You don't gotta worry about me being all crazy. I was just trying to show you that I wasn't fooling around.
All right, Joey. Nice to meet you. As you know, I'm Chris, and Dan the Man's in the chat, and welcome to the MMA-HOLES.
I was just trying to show you that I wasn't fooling around.
No, I believe you, man. I saw the pictures, and that's pretty cool. How did you meet a lot of these people? Is that through the gym, or is that just random situations?
Well, I grew up with a guy, Chris Ligori, who's the corner. He's Chris the Story Ligori. He's the corner man for Frankie Edgar. And just over time, being with him, I've met a bunch of the guys and got to be in the fighters' hotels. And through my business, I sponsor a lot of these people. Like I sponsor fighters, and it used to be on the back of their banners when you were allowed to do it. And I just developed a relationship with them. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really
awesome. And, I live in Jersey, close to where all those guys train. So I go to Mark Henry's pizza place, and I do a lot of talking with him, just acquaintances and stuff like that. But I am best friends with Chris, and I can consider myself a friend of Frankie. So I just figured if I could bring anything to the show and help you guys out, I'd love to do it.
Dude, that is awesome. That's really cool stuff. It's funny. I was just talking about this with Dan. I was saying how the thing with everyone in MMA, UFC, Bellator, any of these guys, when you meet them on the street, they're the nicest, coolest people in the world, willing to take pictures, whatever, autographs, whatever you want, ask questions. And they're taking the trains and just hanging out and just like the coolest guys, and gals. So it's actually, it's nice to hear. And it's another reason why I love the sport so much. These guys, they're humbled. They're very humble. Champion, no champion, they're super humble people.
Oh, so absolutely, Chris. To be honest with you, in one of the pictures I sent to you a while back, I was doing a job, and I was out on the West Coast, and it was right around – actually, it wasn't that long ago, but it was over the summer. I was doing a job on the West Coast, and my buddy got me an entourage pass, that guy Chris, to UFC 200. So we met for lunch at the Fighters Hotel, and when I was walking through, I saw – in the what's it called, the coffee shop, the Starbucks, I saw Holly Holm. And when I went up to her, I said, hey, Holly, how you doing, champ? And she literally got like blushed in the face, and I was like, I was shocked because she's the star. I'm supposed to be blushed, but she was like, "Oh, I can't believe you still call me champ. You know, I want to get it back." I was like, "Holly, you don't gotta ever explain yourself. You're a champ in my eyes." And she actually, you know, sat with me for a couple of minutes and talked so down to earth. It was crazy. You would think that she was just a regular girl walking through the hotel. It was unbelievable.
That's cool. That is freaking cool. Yeah, that's sick, man. So it's funny. I just got reminded of this. So Zepside in the chat says Fook Mark Henry's pizza, right? And it makes me think. What did Mark Henry say after that press conference when McGregor was mouthing off and stuff like that? Was he laughing, or I'm curious what his reaction to that was?
He was actually kind of he's a real different guy as far as being humbled. He actually felt bad and sent out an apology because he thought that it wasn't representing the way he is well. Because I don't know if you know this, but years ago, the reason how he got into the game was because he has a son who's a great kid. He's in college now, but he was a wrestler at high school and would be trained by Frankie Edgar. Now, he would show up to all the training sessions and see Frankie Edgar train him and see how good of a guy Frankie was. And Frankie said, "Hey, look, you know, your son told me that you used to box in the Navy years ago. Can you help me out for, you know, my upcoming fight?" And that upcoming fight was the fight before BJ Penn in Abu Dhabi. And he started training Frankie in his basement, and it just grew into such a close relationship that Frankie said, "I'm not going to train with anybody else but you." And in turn, he started going to the gyms with Frankie and going to, Gracie's place in Manhattan. And that's how he started meeting up with a bunch of other guys, like Brandon Schaub has trained with them, Weidman, but he doesn't like to train a bunch of people at once. It's all individual, and that's why people are basically on a waiting list for him. But he's so humble that he actually felt bad about that he got brought into the thing. He wants to stay low-key and behind the scenes. He's really a great guy. If you ever get a chance, you should go to Woodbridge to his pizza place.
Oh, that's awesome. That's an awesome story, man. Real awesome. Real quick, in the comments, do you guys hear an echo? I see you say we hear an echo. What a great story. Coach Bailey loves the story. Joey, I got a question for you. So now, if we need an MMA informant, because we're a bunch of morons over here. We're literally drinking lunatics that like to watch a sport. We really know, when it comes down to get into a fight, we know how to hit a beer bottle over each other's heads and, you know, cheap shots, but we don't know how to do all these crazy moves and all that stuff. If we need an informant, can you be the MMA-HOLE exclusive informant? If we have any questions, are you the guy to go to?
Chris, I would absolutely be honored, man. And to be honest with you, a bunch of the guys that I train with at the gym, they love all this kind of stuff. That's why when I fell onto your site, it was similar to what the other guy said. It came across, and I was watching it. And years ago, I used to do I did my internship at 103.1 The Buzz, the radio station. And I just, you know, I always wanted to do something like this. So when I came across you and saw that it was at like a, not to, you know, put you down, but at like a ground level, I said, what better time to start than at the ground level and build it up? Because a lot of these guys want to get their name out there, you know, and UFC is a big organization, but there's a lot of guys that fight in other organizations that just want the love, like Cage Warriors, Cage Rage, you know, all those small things. They start there and move on up. That's where Frankie started. Eddie Alvarez started. A good friend of mine, Adam Furon started. Chris Ligori started. Matt Serra. You could name a ton of them, and they want their name out there because they got a lot of stuff that they could put out and tell people. But it seems that a lot of these news organizations, if they ever do any interviews with the MMA or UFC, it's always at the top level. They don't ever want to do the lower level guys, and that's where a show like yours could really, you know, boost these guys up and in turn boost you up.
That's exactly, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what we're going for. We see these stuffy shows and then we see nothing. You know, like we see all the mainstream stuff and nothing. So I was like, let me just start a fun little YouTube channel. What the hell? See what happens. You know, get
buddy. It really is. It really is great, man. I went with Chris on a publicity tour one time a while ago when he was still fighting. He's retired now. And I'm telling you, bro, I've met a lot of guys along the way that, you know, do interviews, and they're not as smooth as you, bro. I'm telling you, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. You got a real good thing going. You got a great show, great following and stuff. I'd love to be a part of it, man. If you guys ever need anything from me, I'd be more than happy to give it out, bud.
You've heard it here, live from Joey Mouth. Joey Mouth, an MMA-HOLE, an MMA-HOLE exclusive, knowledgeable man. We like that. But when you first came on, this is basically what I was thinking. You know, I was pretty much going like this.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I mean, I'm just being honest right there.
No, I appreciate it. You probably thought I was like a troll or something, but the only way I could show you, and that's why I felt all bougie sending you the pics, but the only way I could show you I was for real was to send you pics, and I knew you like sports, so I figured you'd get a kick out of like the Jerry Jones pick and the Rex Ryan and stuff like that.
Sick, man. I just went through it. I did, I did have questions. I went through the emails, and you've definitely backed it up. And you know what? Talking to you was even better than the pictures, because speaking with you live makes me get a good feel of how you are. You have a good voice actually for radio too. You know, did you say you dabbled in radio?
Yeah, I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting in Palm Beach, Florida, and I ended up getting on 103.1 The Buzz, and I did a little bit of work in color commentary for the Florida Marlins, but I didn't know anything about baseball, so I just started shouting out my friends. If the guy like had a nice pitch, I'd be like, "Oh, that's a great pitch. It reminds me of Adam Furon's pitch back in the day." And Adam Furon would be a kid I went to high school with, so it just, I wasn't good at it. But if I ever got involved with like fighting or stuff like that, I live for it, man. I love it. I train. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm very low in the ranks. I'm just a purple belt, but still, man, I love it. It's a great sport. It really does ground you. You know, a lot of people think these guys are barbarians and they're going to get into fights, but it's the exact opposite. It calms you down.
All right, so I got to laugh because I'm looking into the comments right now, and the comments always get me. Powerhouse says, sick grass, bruh.
Oh, yeah, I'm on my back porch, my bad.
He's digging it. He likes your grass. And he's also telling us to get a room. I think that's for another show, though. I don't think that works on the Oh, man, funny. So that's actually pretty cool, though, man. I like the you sound very knowledgeable, and you have a good voice, a good flow, and I like that for the MMA-HOLE show. I see Dan the Man. Hold on, guys. I'm going to get going, okay? You're not going to interrupt? All right, Dan the Man, thank you for joining us. Thank you for jumping on the show. We appreciate you hanging with us. And Dan's an OG, and it was nice to hear your voice. Peace out, Danny.
So Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
How did you guys get involved in all this? It was just a spur-of-the-moment idea, and you guys took off with it?
So basically, we watch every single fight. I've been doing it for a while, just watching these fights like a lunatic, right? And me, my buddy John, and Mike, who was in this thing, are the three that would just, NJ too, the four of us would get together, and our text messages would go hours long, us debating and fighting with each other about these fights and fighters and who's going to win, why they're going to win, and who sucks and who doesn't suck. And it would go constantly. Then on the weekends, we would watch the fights. Our wives would be pissed off in the other room, falling asleep, and we would be yenting up with each other. And I'm like, well, hold on. Why don't we just do this on YouTube? We could do this with each other. We could all bicker with each other. We could joke around, and we could make some new friends on here. I felt like it was a match made in heaven, and that's what we did. And then I got into this crazy cage. Shit went crazy. Shit went nuts with this. It's over here. There it is. But that's basically, in a nutshell, how it worked. I'm a YouTube junkie. I don't watch TV. I got rid of cable, and all I do is watch sports and YouTube. That's it. That's all I do. So YouTube, I would like to be part of this YouTube world. I feel there's a place to grow with YouTube. It's a great source of entertainment and media. I feel like it expand and grow and reach a broad audience, and you could be loose. I like the fact that you could be super loose. So that's basically how this works.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It is. I'm the same way, dude. I hardly watch TV anymore because it's like with the computer, you can choose whatever you want to watch. And really, man, it sounds a little I don't even know the word, but I really am only interested in certain things. I love fighting. I basically just work and go to the gym and watch fights and watch anything that has to do with fighting. I love it. So
that's good to hear, man. I like that this sport, like I was saying before, a lot of people are like, you got these noobs jumping on and watching MMA and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But it's the only way a sport's going to grow. And watching these fans, even though they don't know what's going on or how it's going on, it's still fun watching people grow with the sport and jump into the sport and watch how the sport has exploded. For me, Brock Lesnar was huge when he came in and dragged all these people in. But Ronda Rousey seems like everything exploded. And then Conor McGregor comes, and it's just mind-blowing, the people that watch it. My mom watches it. It's like, it's crazy, the people that just watch the sport now. So it's just fun to see how big of an audience it grows. And that's why we're here. We're here to talk about that. That and Ronda Rousey and Chris Cyborg's penis and all that crazy stuff. We talk about everything. We talk about it all here.
Speaking of Ronda Rousey, what do you feel about the Amanda Nunes? You think that she's going to have the ring rust, or you think that she's going to train her ass off and even have a shot in that fight?
I feel in that fight, I think Rousey's going to come in and whoop her ass. I think that's what's going to happen. Nunes was super exciting to watch against Tate, but I think Rousey, other than that Holly Holm fight, I think Rousey would have ran over everyone, no problem. You know, Miesha Tate again. I just feel that Rousey's too good. My only questions with Ronda Rousey is not ring rust. My questions with her corner, with Edmund. This guy, I don't believe in what he's got going on there, and I feel he's destroyed Brown, and I feel he's destroying Ronda Rousey, in my opinion. That's what I think. But
Totally agree, and a lot of people also agree with you on that statement. He's not really very well liked as a cornerman. He, in fact, if you remember when she lost, her mother went on the radio and said it, that she denounced him, and Ronda actually got into a fight with her family because Ronda's a very loyal person and didn't like that she put her coach down. But Ronda Rousey's mother said that she's going to lead her down the wrong path, that he's all about, you know, trying to get fame. And you could tell a lot about a cornerman by what you hear them say in the corner. Like if you watch a Winklejohn fighter, when they go in the corner, it's almost like talking to a professor. They keep them calm. They tell them not just what they want to hear, they tell them what they have to do. When you get a camera guy go into the corner of a Ronda Rousey fight, it's almost like having one of your buddies at a bar fight. Like, just get in there, man, kick his ass. You can't be like that. The fighter has to stay calm. And what I feel with Ronda Rousey, I agree 100% with you that she's a great fighter, but she has to get her striking game better because Amanda Nunes knows the ground game, maybe doesn't know judo like Ronda does, but she knows it enough that if she sticks and moves with Ronda and stays out of that reach and out of the pocket, for lack of a better word, and Ronda can't grab her to do an armbar or to do a judo toss, she might be in some trouble. And that's just what I personally feel, but I definitely agree 100% with that corner guy. That's definitely a piece of her downfall. And another thing is, from what I hear about her, she's really not the nicest of people outside the ring. I don't know if you heard about what she did with Miesha Tate and with Paige Van Zandt, where she got mad at Paige Van Zandt, who didn't do anything to anybody. If you could tell just by the look at her, she's a very sweet girl from what I hear. And Paige Van Zandt just went up to her and just tried to, half fan, half, fellow fighter. And she went up to her, and Ronda refused to talk to her and said that she was, quote unquote, a bitch for even being friends with Miesha Tate. Because Ronda just was like, if you don't praise me, or if you're not 100% with me, you're not with me at all. And I just thought that was a shame when you see somebody that's such an icon of the sport, be like that. You got to be grounded.
I did hear the same thing. Yeah, I heard the same. I heard the interview with Paige Van Zandt, and we know that with the Miesha Tate thing, it just that Ultimate Fighter was uncomfortable to watch those two coaching that thing. I just think that's how Ronda is, man. She's just a tough ass. She can be a bitch, and she's old business, and whoever's in her circle stays in her circle, and whoever's not, they can go fuck themselves. I think that's the Ronda Rousey way of going things, and a lot of people don't like that personality, that style. It doesn't work for some, but I don't care. As long as she performs in the ring, I don't care what she does outside of the ring. So that's just basically my feelings on that. But
just don't be a do-nothing bitch.
Yes. Yep. Basically, that's how it works. I like her style, man. I like her swag. I like the way she goes in and is like, I'm going to fuck you up, and I'm going to bounce. I enjoy that. I like that. I have this debate with my father constantly. My father cannot stand her and just goes on and on and on. And I'm like, who cares? I'm like, you're not married to the girl. I'm like, I would go and I watch the UFC to watch a show. And she put on a show multiple times against these women, and I got a lot of respect for the girl. That's just basically how that works.
You hit the nail on the head with that, because and I'm sorry to interrupt, but you really did, because I think that a lot of people, some are in the school of, I want this to stay strictly fighting and that's it. But I'm from the school of, I don't want it to ever turn into a WWE and be fake. But if you don't have personalities, you don't have the interest to watch the fight. Perfect example, when a lot of times people watch, like very rarely do you have people like yourself or, guys like me or other people, fans of the show, other MMA holes that truly love it to the point that they'll watch the prelim fights. A lot of people, they don't even watch it, but that's how you get to know fighters. And the people that stick out, like a Conor McGregor, that gets 6 fights and then into the limelight, is people that have a personality. So if you don't have one, you could be the best fighter in the world, no one's going to watch you. Like, I challenge a lot of people that don't watch regularly if they would know how good Khabib Nurmagomedov is, because he's not really in the limelight. But anybody that watches fighting knows the guy's a beast. He's great. He's an animal. And you know who else is an animal, who I think is going to be a huge superstar if Bellator would get their act in order, because they got great fighters, they just don't line up the fights properly, and they have too many gaps in between big fights. That guy, Paddy Hogan, Patty Pembroke or what's his name? Patty
Um,
Patty the Batty.
Patty the Batty, yeah. He's in Bellator? I thought he was coming straight to the UFC.
Oh no, he's in the cage one, but I think Bellator was in talks to get him, and I
Oh,
think
really?
if they get him, I think it might be a bad decision on his part, not because it's a bad organization, but look at what they do with MVP. If MVP was in the UFC, he'd be at every fight, sitting cage side, fighting in big events, and you don't really see him. And I personally think the fight of the millennium would be him versus Conor McGregor, not even if he's a little bit heavier weight, but the bottom line is they're two personalities. They're two people that fight in an extreme way. Conor's an extreme pocket guy. He loves to bang. And MVP is he used to be a point fighter. That's why, to him, these fights are a different level to him because he knows exactly where to hit you and exactly what to do and does it with flash. So that's just my opinion. I think Bellator has a great roster. They just got to learn how to use it.
Do you think somehow the UFC could snatch Chandler, or do you think he's Bellator for life?
I wish, bro. I wish. I love Chandler. I think he's a beast, but I think that's their golden boy, and they don't want to let him go at all. They don't even want to think about letting him go because once he's gone, I mean, there's other great fighters in there, but I just think he's their golden ticket.
Who do you think, now that we're talking about Bellator, who do you think is the biggest pickup from the UFC that Bellator got? This has been a debate a lot I've heard, and I'm curious to hear your opinion on this. Who do you think is the biggest name that they pulled in from UFC?
I think Chael Sonnen is a huge one. That's just the recent one. I mean, Tito Ortiz is a name, but he's really not a big fighter. I tell you, Rory McDonald, it would have to be me. Rory McDonald would be my favorite. I think that kid is an absolute beast, and I kind of agreed what he said with Dana White. He throws certain fighters to the wolves, and other fighters he gives them not a pass, but gives them middle fights in between their large ones to get their groove going. And Rory, I mean, if you look at his record, yeah, he had a couple of fighters that you don't really know the name of, but I mean, he banged out with some big name guys and basically just wanted a little bit more credit, a little bit more. I mean, obviously he wanted a little bit more money, but he wanted a little bit more credit in the sense of let him pick and choose. A Conor McGregor loses to Nate Diaz, and you have Dana White on air saying, well, he demanded the next fight. You're the president. You know how many people would demand a rematch and not get it? And that's where I felt Nate Diaz was right. How many people, if you don't want a rematch, there's something wrong with you. I don't care what sport you play. If you lose, you want to play again. You want to get that back. You know what I'm saying? So for him to say, oh, Conor wouldn't take no for an answer, chances are he wouldn't. Not a lot of people would, but it's up to you to let that answer, be fulfilled or not. And with Conor, he let that happen. And with other fighters, he just doesn't.
I see what you're saying. So I like the Chael Sonnen thing. Chael Sonnen is another one that, man, he sucked me in, man. That guy is a funny son of a bitch. He backed it up. I know he had trouble with the the testosterone and a lot of crazy crap going on. But Chael Sonnen, the way he sells a fight is fantastic. It really is fantastic. Whether he wins or loses, you want to watch him fight. He's just fun, man. He's a funny dude with that whole gangster bit and all that stuff that's going on. So I think that he might be the biggest guy that they got, not because of his fighting skills or where he is in his game right now, but his mouth is more valuable than anything right now. He's a promoter. He's a fighter. He does it all. I think Chael Sonnen is a big hit for Bellator. And he's going to...
Who do you think is the biggest fight over there?
The biggest fighter as in a watchable fighter?
His biggest opponent. Who do you think Chael's biggest?
I keep on hearing about that they're going to throw the old guys together, like the washed up tournament. I keep on hearing that he wants to do stuff like that, and that's what's going to be going on. I would watch that in a second. The Tito Ortiz and just throwing everyone in the ring and just having them battle it out, all these superstars and stuff like the older superstars. But who cares? I mean, I watched the Shamrock thing. That was hilarious. I mean, the freaking unfortunately.
What about the one that may he rest in peace?
Congo.
Kimbo when he fought that guy Dada 5000. That was a fight. I mean, I watched it. It was kind of sad, but can you believe that guy had 2 heart attacks in the ring because he was so out of shape?
It was one of the. I mean, I hate to say it, but I was laughing my freaking ass off. It was so funny. It was like one of the fun. That's the thing about Bellator. It's like it's a dummied down UFC, but sometimes you see some funny shit and some good fights. You're guaranteed to get finishes in the UFC and in Bellator. I mean, the percentages have got to be through the roof for a finish in Bellator. It's fantastic. I don't know if it's
the Chandler Alvarez fights.
Oh, dude, fantastic wars, absolute wars. You know, so that's why I would love to see the UFC try to find a way to snag Chandler over there. It's probably, like you said, it's probably not going to happen. But man, imagine he jumps into that pool of the UFC fighters. I mean,
or what if he did what Rory McDonald said? He said he wants to have a tournament, Bellator versus UFC.
Oh, dude, where do I sign up for that? Where do I sign up for? It would be fantastic. I mean, now I'm curious. Do they have any relationship? The dude, what's his name? Scott Coker? Is that the guy that runs it now?
Yeah, he also used to work with Strikeforce, and when Dana took it over, he let Coker stay because he had so much respect for him. They really do like each other. The problem is, especially now that Dana sold the company, his hands actually might be tied on breaking the contracts. Like when Conor wanted to fight Mayweather, Dana White said that's great. I'd like to see it as a fan, but Conor, if they're going to fight, he has to go through the UFC because Conor's mine. So it's really up to the people. Like if Coker was to say, hey, look, I bow down, you guys could put it under the UFC banner, that's fine. Or vice versa. You know, Dana will never say that, but that's the only way it will happen. Because I don't know, but I don't think that they could put on a show and say Bellator and UFC presents. I think it would have to be like one or the other.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, like I said, where can I sign up for that? Real quick, the next time I get you into a hangout, we're going to need something. Either put a picture up on your profile.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I just realized that when you do talk, if there's just two of us in a room, it's just a blank screen. And I see people getting scared. They're in the chat. They're getting nervous.
I don't know. You know what? I reversed my camera on my Surface Pro, so I'm trying to put it back to the front.
Yeah, you don't have to show yourself. Sometimes they have a way you can put your profile picture up. This way, when you talk, there's something on the screen, and just have you'll get.
No, absolutely, I'll do that. I'll let me see if I can fix it now while I'm on. I just don't want to accidentally hang up.
As you do that, I'm gonna look into the comments. Okay, Coach. Yeah, I really think Ronda. Okay, Coach Billy. You're not gonna believe this. You know who I'm with now. This is the best top 10. It looks like he's busting chops. Okay, Mike Goodwin. I thought this was interactive. Thank God for moral support. I'm going to go sacrifice myself to the devil now. Mike Goodwin, don't sacrifice yourself to the devil. Well, if you do it on the show. Do it live. Go on Hangouts. And there you go, Joe. Like that. Go on Hangouts and do it live on the air so I could get some more subscribers. That'd be kind of cool. I like the prelims almost better than the main cards. That's Coach Bailey. And how funny. So UFC 204 is pretty amusing because a lot of people complaining about it. And I was telling my buddies, I was like, listen, sometimes these cards that you're not too stoked about turn out to be awesome freaking cards. And if I'm not mistaken, other than the main event and maybe one other fight, everything else was a finish at UFC 204. I mean, it was fantastic. What did you think? Did you want to catch in that fight?
Absolutely. And I agreed with Hendo, and I don't know if it's just strictly as a fan, but I think that with the rules, and they actually did have an article about it in bjpen.com, that they should do something with that 10-9 rule. I understand it, and I think it's great, but it should go to that if it is needed. If you see damage on somebody's face as bad as Bisping, how could with a straight face say he won and Hendo didn't? I mean, that's just my personal opinion. What did you feel? Did you think that Bisping...
The way damage, I don't understand. Here's the two things. I don't understand how judges don't take into consideration damage as much as they should. And another thing, too, is I notice a lot of judges don't put any value in takedowns. I mean, I've seen it a million times. A guy could get an abundance of takedowns, yet the other guy seems more active, and they go in that direction. I just can't understand. I feel it's a very flawed system, and it needs to be fixed. They have to do something with this. Even with the rounds, lopside the rounds a little bit more, man. If a guy gets dominated like that, I mean, Henderson in the second round, he literally almost put Bisping away. I just don't understand how that works. I
think that the 10-9 system works in boxing because of the fact that it's strictly one facet of a fight where it's just stand-up, no takedowns. But like what you said, if somebody's a stand-up fighter and I'm a wrestler, I'm not going to try to stand with him. I'm going to try to take him down. But if you take somebody down, you're not going to see the damage. When they stand up, they don't have bruises all over their chest. You have it on your face. So the striker has the advantage in that scenario.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? Because your face might be torn up, but I might have had you on the ground the whole time.
Another thing, too, guys working off their back. You'll see a guy get taken down, guys laying on top of him, he's in their guard, and the guy's cutting him up from the bottom with his elbows, and gets nothing out of it. Like, I just don't understand. I feel if you're more active off your back, and the other guy's getting sliced up, shouldn't that go in the direction of the guy off his back? You see it all the time. But
Absolutely. And for the untrained eye, like I was taught in fighting that when I first started taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the coach actually said, this is the art of losing, in the sense that it was made for a lopsided fight to be even. So a smaller guy could stand with a bigger guy. But the teachings of it are based on the fact that if I know I'm not going to beat you on my feet, I'm going to pull guard purposely. Somebody that doesn't know, that's watching, is going to say, oh, that guy on his back's losing. No. He might have purposely pulled guard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. There's a lot of things that have to change. And I think it's going to happen. I think the sport's going to evolve a little bit more and grow, and they're going to figure these things out. I would have thought that they would have done it by now, but I think because it's so mainstream now and there's more eyeballs on the sport, I think they're going to have to. They have no choice. It's like with baseball with the reviews and stuff like that. They're doing these things now to try to fix the situation, but sometimes they go a little overboard, and that's probably what's going to wind up happening with MMA. It's probably going to be like, okay, we fixed the situation, but now let's move the kickoff back, like in football. Like, let's fuck that up. Like,
exactly. Did you see the Mets game when the count, they had it as 3-0 when it was clearly a 1-2 count on that last inning where they hit the home run to end the Mets season? I mean, you got a sport where the umpires make 70% of the calls wrong when they go over the game afterwards to see the batter's box. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can't have something like that where these guys, that's their livelihood. You can't have it all riding on that. Same as fighting. These guys make way less than baseball players. They lose that fight, they might not fight for another 6 months and might not even fight in that organization. And now with no sponsors, these guys are basically broke.
Yeah, it really is nuts. I hope they fix all that stuff. We're going to be winding this show down, but I have one more question. I saw that Al Iaquinta just retired. Like he said, I'm retired. That's it. I'm done. Now, with all this stuff with the fighters not getting paid enough and, the Reebok deal, and you got it so top heavy with the big stuff, and then the poor little guy barely makes anything off of it or even breaks even with some of these fights. What should they do about this? Do these fighters have a legitimate argument? Do you think that they should be paid more? Like, what's going on? Are they getting that, is it that bad? Or are they bitching and complaining?
It's pretty bad. And I can tell you something real quick before you sign off on that note. Actually, two quick things. One, about going on to what you said. When Frankie lost that fight at 200, I was actually supposed to run into him the next day, and he got on the first flight out because UFC gives you a choice. You could stay for 5 days or up to 5 days at the hotel after your fight so you could relax and unwind because fight week's horrible and, you can't really do anything. You're concentrating. So some people take the option of flying out there immediately. And he flew out there, flew home immediately, didn't even stay, so we never got to link up after the fight because he was so downtrodden. And one of the reasons why, and his words, quote unquote, were, hey, look, I fought 5 fights to earn this fight, 2 of which I shouldn't even have had to fight in because the spot was wide open for me, but they let Conor get the reign. So I had to wait 5 fights to get to this, and then I lost. So now I have a choice to do another 5 fights to get a title shot, but this is all with no sponsors. And the no sponsors affects Frankie majorly because he was one of those fighters that was in the opposite of some other fighters where he actually really made a lot of money on sponsorships, more so than he did in the ring. Some fighters, they exaggerate it. He really did it because he's such a star in Jersey, where I'm from. So he lost out on that. And one of the things that was one of the major things he was complaining about. He said, look, I don't know if I have another 5 fights in me. And with this Reebok deal, it goes against me because you get paid based on how much ring time you have, how many wins versus how many losses. And it really screwed him. And, so I think it's horrible, and I think that a lot of people should sign. There's a petition that has been going around at a lot of the camps to get a union because they made a union, but it really didn't blow up, and they have a petition to sign and to send it into Dana White. So these guys get medical treatment, get insurance, get guaranteed pay, and get somewhat of a retirement because a lot of these guys, they don't have choices, man. I know a fighter, no names to be said, that fought 2 fights in the UFC, fights in smaller circuits, and he literally lived out of his car up until the gym gave him a room in the back. And he's a great fighter.
Really? Unbelievable.
And I got one last thing to tell you. This was the second thing. And this is, I don't know if it's breaking news, but you guys are probably going to read about it. But I don't know if you saw that Jose Aldo has a meeting with Dana White upcoming. Well, the friend of mine that trains at the gym knows Jose Aldo. He's a Brazilian guy, great guy. And he said that Jose Aldo is dead set on leaving, and he wants to become a star. I don't know the league, and I don't know the camp or anything like that, but he wants to become a star in another organization because he feels that offended that 10 years of being undefeated got him nothing. So
Now,
we're going to hear that in the next couple of days if Dana releases him.
is Jose Aldo, is he talking about leaving mixed martial arts? Is he going to another organization in that realm? Or is he, I'm hearing things that he might become a soccer player. Like I'm hearing crazy shit about that. What is he looking to do? Is it mixed martial arts he's still trying to stay in?
He has ties to the soccer world because he loved soccer his whole life, but his blood is in his everything is into fighting. But he said he is so disgusted with UFC that he has no qualms about going to another organization that'll treat him with respect. And that organization, a lot of people are thinking it's going to be Bellator. According to my friend, he thinks it's going to be Ryzen because he's very good friends with the Axe Murderer because they're very close over there in Brazil, and he runs the Ryzen. He runs it. He's one of the bigwigs over there, and he swears that Jose Aldo will get the treatment he deserves.
Oh, wow. That'd be insane, huh? That'd be insane. So he pretty much wants to go off into his own little world over there, just chill out, sip on his nice refreshing drinks, and just do his thing over there, huh?
Yeah, and another thing a lot of people don't realize is when these Brazilian fighters fight and they get their purse, it's Brazilian law that they pay the taxes in America. So if you, let's say you get $1 million, it makes it easy to math. You get $1 million, you get 35% tax. So now you're walking away with $750 or $650, right? When you take that $650 back to Brazil, you got to give another 30%. So they have to fight a lot and make big amounts of money to make their living and survive. I mean, granted, the money's probably different down there that they can survive on, but a guy like Jose Aldo, you would think, I don't know about you, but I would think he'd be a millionaire, never want to worry about working again. But he makes most of his money on burger places. He owns his own burger places that sell sliders in Brazil. In fact, my friend took a picture of it because he went down there, and I asked him to take a picture of it, but he has a slider shop where all the burgers are named after either fighters or fighting moves and stuff like that. But that's where he makes most of his money, believe it or not.
Does he have the 13-second burger over there?
I don't know.
The 13-second burger. I think if he doesn't, Jose Aldo, give me a call. I'll help you out with that. And
now, Chris, do you think that if he lasted past the 13 seconds, what do you think that outcome would have been? I think it would have been a 5-round war. That's just me. And I think Jose Aldo might have got the better of him if he did what he did to Uriah Faber and just chopped the legs.
On paper, before that fight, I thought right off the bat it was going to be a 5-round fight. Like that's what I thought. I was like, man, McGregor's in for it with this one. I just think at that weight class, I think McGregor's power is just too much for these guys. I really do feel that. I just think everyone talks about that left hand and how hard he hits at 145. I just think it's just too much for Aldo, and nothing against Aldo. What he did with Frankie Edgar, I mean, it was insane. I couldn't believe how well he fought against Frankie Edgar. People were bored by the fight. I don't understand how they were bored by that fight because Aldo stuck to his game plan and he just worked him. And I don't know. Maybe it would have gone a couple more rounds, but I think once my fist finds his face, it's so, I don't know. I think his power is just too much for him. I really do at that weight class.
Well, Jose Aldo is a pretty big guy. A lot of people don't realize it. He's not a small guy. His cuts are very, very hard to get in, to get down to that weight. But I agree 100%. I think that are very, very hard to get in. I'm sorry about that. The YouTube went on, so I was hearing a double thing. But yeah, his cuts is a very hard cut for him to get down to 145, and yeah, it's really tough. He's not that small of a guy, but I agree with you 100%. Conor McGregor has a left hand that is lights out. That's the only thing I think he has in the Alvarez fight, because watching Alvarez for as long as I've watched him, the guy's a beast, and unless you watch fighting, he's really not that much not known. But anybody that watches fighting knows Alvarez is a very serious competitor, and unfortunately, it's probably one of the easiest ones in that 155 in the top 5 for Conor. If he
I think that's what it is. I think Conor sniffed him out and was like, "Oh, this is perfect. Everything lined up." I was fascinated by the Dos Anjos fight when Conor. We actually were going to Vegas for that fight, all pumped up, and then Dos Anjos, that thing happens. But I was fascinated by that, and then to see Alvarez go in there and do what he did to Dos Anjos, it just doesn't make sense how that happens with Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos lumps up Cowboy, then Cowboy before that lumped up Alvarez. It's so wild how certain matchups just play differently against each other, you know?
MMA math is the hardest thing to do when you try to say, well, he beat him, so if he beat him and I beat this guy, it's so hard to match up because styles make fights. You know what I'm saying? So I personally think that Cowboy Cerrone would be a nightmare for Conor. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely. I said that in the beginning of the show. Absolutely. I 100% agree on that.
But you talk to other people and they say, oh, no, Cowboy can't touch him. Cowboy can't do this. Let me tell you something. Cowboy changes and evolves every fight. And at 170, he's a beast. But that doesn't take away the fact that 155, he also is a beast. But like I said, the cuts sometimes really affect people. And his cut affects him more so than some others. But let me tell you something. I think Cowboy's going to be the next champion in that weight class because I don't see anybody really stopping him. He goes through everybody. Look what he did to Story. No one does that to Story. No one.
That was insane. That was like Joe Rogan said. It's like out of a video game watching his. I mean, that was
awesome. It was like art. I mean, it was perfect. Every punch landed. And the one big thing I'm really devastated about is that the Robbie Lawler fight fell through. That would have been a fight of fights. That would have been like a Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald. I think it would have been a bloody battle.
Yeah, we got chipped on that one for sure. We totally got chipped. Although Kelvin,
I respect Robbie Lawler actually called him up personally, and they met in a parking lot in Vegas for him to personally tell him, look, it wasn't about anything. I don't want the media to twist it. I would love to fight you. I'm honored to fight you, but I can't risk my future with brain damage because I know that we would bang. That's literally what he did. Cowboy said it on Rogan, and he said that I have nothing against Robbie for that. I respect it.
Yeah, I think finally Robbie Lawler woke up and was like, "Wait, hold on a second. My brain is taking so much of a beating. You know, even on those wars where he won. I mean, man, he just took it. He ate it each time. And yeah, he needs a vacation. He needs to be on a beach with his legs up and letting his back. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what another crazy thing is with Robbie Lawler is you see some of these wars that he got in and the shots that he took and they didn't knock him out. And then you watch the old Nick Diaz fight against him and Nick stuck in a little jab and it was lights out. It's like it's so hard to figure what's going to knock somebody down and what's not. Because I've seen Aldo get bombs thrown at him by Mendez, who, in my theory, almost beat Conor when he fought him on 10 days' notice. I mean, the first round was all Mendez, but that's besides the point. But Mendez threw bombs at Aldo, didn't knock him out. Then Aldo gets in with McGregor, and he gets slept.
It's funny how it works. I see the best top 10 ever says Cerrone beat Alvarez, Diaz beat Cerrone, McGregor beat Diaz, ... It's true. You just don't know over and over again. Like a lot of people say, here we go. Mike Daly says Cowboy would eat Conor. Yeah, you would think that would happen, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe you go in there and like Dos Anjos, boom, 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 see you later, Cowboy. Like you have no idea. That's the beauty of this fight. It's like any given Sunday. You never know what's going to happen, but the MMA, the UFC, the Bellator, everything. It's just it's unbelievable, man. You how many times does your mouth drop when you watch these fights? It's just like holy shit. How many times are you screaming at the TV because you're like I can't believe I just saw that.
I froze my TV accidentally because I flipped out so much in the first Nate Diaz fight. I got up and I was screaming. I made a bet on it. It was every $100 you put out, you won $350. I put $400 on it, so I won. I was really happy, and I slammed my counter so hard that my TV froze. And for the next 5 hours, all I saw was that perfect picture of Diaz putting his arms up with the blood all over his face. It was crazy.
I walked out of it. We were there for that fight. And I'm like the biggest Conor fanboy. I wound up meeting Artem Lobov, his buddy. Super cool.
Oh, you were in Vegas?
Yeah, we went to Vegas for
awesome.
it. The weigh-ins were even more than the fight. It was more fun than the fight. It was just it was sick. Met Bruce Buffer, all this crazy stuff.
I did too. I met him isn't he one of the coolest guys you could ever meet?
No, he's a bigger dude than I thought. Like when I see him in there jumping around, I didn't realize he's a pretty big guy. Like he's a solid dude, man. I think he could fuck some people up in there.
Oh, absolutely. He trains at that at Blazer's gym. You know that guy Blazer, or I think his last name's Blazer. He does the UFC on Fox.
Okay. Oh, Jay Glazer. Yeah, I spoke to him too.
Blazer. I said Blazer. I'm sorry.
He looks like a little bulldog.
Yeah, he trains with that girl Demi Lovato, and Bruce Buffer also trains at that gym too. It's in Hollywood, and I heard he's actually pretty good. He also surfs big time too.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
He seems this guy lives like he's living a dream, man. Every time he tells a story, it's like, holy shit, man, this guy's done it all.
Oh, I love his podcast.
Yeah, I got to check that out. I listen to Rogan. I do the Matt Sarah. Jim Norton is fantastic. That's like my favorite right now. Those guys are the best. I love them too.
A great interview you should check out is on that podcast that Bruce Buffer does. You should check out the one he interviewed Big John McCarthy, and also Joey Diaz interviewed him as well. Wait,
is that the one after when McCarthy was talking about the McGregor fight?
Yeah, he was talking about the McGregor fight, and he broke down the Rory McDonald fight. And when you hear what was going on in that ring that you couldn't see, it's unbelievable. When he fought Robbie Lawler, and he got cut inside the mouth, and no one saw that. They saw the blood dripping, but they assumed it was from the nose. He sliced the inside of his mouth open, which made he have to keep his mouth open, and every time he'd breathe in, the blood would stick to the back of his mouth, and he couldn't breathe. So,
oh my God,
yeah, McCarthy wanted to stop the fight just on that alone, because you don't ever want to put somebody in danger, but that just shows what kind of a beast that guy was. I mean, he literally had to give up at the end of the fight because his broken nose was getting hit so much that the bone was hitting him inside. I mean, it's unbelievable to even think about. If I broke my nose, you can't see. I broke it when I was a kid. You can't see out of your eye. To think about fighting like that, look, man, I've rolled with a lot of people, but I'd be out of the ring in a heartbeat.
I'd be in the fetal position. I'd be curled up in the wall, crying my way to someone drags me.
Have you ever rolled before, Chris?
You know what? So I have a long story. I have a bunch of work things going on right now. That's how this started. And once that's all said and done, I would like to do this stuff. I saw Al Bundy got his black belt in jiu-jitsu. So, hey, never say never.
Absolutely. You know who else does that Cook on TV, the guy that does the Layover show? I forgot his name. He's a great guy, though. He's a funny guy, too. What is his name? Andrew? No, not the heavyset guy that eats all the weird stuff. The guy that travels all over the world or whatever. He came on Joe Rogan's podcast. He got into it at a late age, and he's been winning tournaments ever since. He wins the 40 and over tournaments left and right.
Wow.
Somebody on the comments will probably write in the guy's name. I forgot the guy's name, but he is a beast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Never say never. That's what I've learned as I get older. I want to do everything. I want to try everything. I want to do everything. That's just pretty much how I want to do it. I see in the comments actually right now, people are going to UFC 205. People got ticks for that, and God bless, man. Those things are expensive. Holy shit.
Are you in the New York area, Chris?
I am. Yeah, I'm actually out of Queens, New York.
Okay, yeah, I'm in Jersey, but I'm trying my best to get those tickets. But the pre-sale tickets, the cheapest one you'll see is $750.
Yeah, I looked. I actually saw 6 and change, and I'm like, oh, I guess that was a discount. It was nuts. We did the pre, the fight pass, pre, whatever the hell it was. Me and my buddy got on the computer.
It's a prelim fight. Jeremy Stevens is fighting Edgar on a prelim. That should show you how big of a card this is.
There is no debate that this is the best UFC card ever. You can't even debate how good this card is. It's phenomenal, and I kind of understand why they're selling it for so much. Because
if you split this card up into 3 separate cards, they would all sell out. Everyone.
Absolutely.
Everyone. I mean, it's unbelievable. I compare it to like a 204 or like a UFC 199 where you got like one good fight and the rest kind of This was unbelievable.
It's crazy. It really is. So basically my situation, my buddy Mike that was in the chat before, he's got all the hooks. He's got all the connections. Like he gets us into the VIP, gets us into the meetings and these greetings and all that crazy stuff. I don't know what's going on. So I just pretty much jump aboard and get some cool perks out of it. He has tickets. He has press pass tickets to UFC 205, and I got a DJ a freaking job that night. So I'm trying to get out of that. If I could get out of that, I will be in the building too, breathing in the air, the smog. Hopefully, fingers
But
crossed.
I'll tell you this. I mean, you've been to UFC fights, so you know from experience as well. I've been to a couple of fights, and when they're solid cards, like my buddy Chris Ligori, I went to his hotel room while he was in the corner of Frankie a couple of fights ago when Frankie fought who was it? It wasn't Faber. It was before it was crap, not Cub Swan. I forgot who it was. It'll come to me in a second. But I went up to the hotel room to watch the fight because if I bought the tickets, you really don't have a good selection of what if you don't sit in the middle section, front row you're never going to get. But if you don't sit in the middle section, you sit in the bloody nose, you have a better view to watch it at home and just get it on pay-per-view and go to the end.
You're 100% right. We went to Jersey for the John Jones-Chael Sonnen fight. We sat all the way up top, and it's a small place, all the way up top, and we literally watched the whole fight on the Jumbotron. That's it. You see like two antennae. You don't see what the hell's going on, and we watched the whole thing. It was literally watching a pay-per-view on just a gigantic TV screen. That's pretty much how that
was at the Prudential Center, right?
Yes, the Prudential Center, yeah. And I was a big Chael Sonnen guy. It was, it was a joke. That whole thing was a joke, the whole setup. But it was fun, man. Big country. There was a couple of people on that card that was a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, you sit all the way up top, no good. We went to Boston for the McGregor, another Seaver fight, which was another joke. We went there and we were sitting a lot lower, and what a difference! What a difference!
I remember that was a pretty good card, though. That card, the one that he fought. Yeah, the one that was in Boston. That was a pretty good card, right? Other than
that wasn't bad. Yeah, that was actually a fight night, and that was basically if he wins that, he's going for the belt, and that was the whole thing there. But yeah, everyone
you got to see him hop over the thing. That was when he yelled at Aldo.
Yep,
wow.
That was it. Yeah, it was super cool. I got a whole bunch of pictures of that. That was a lot of fun. We got very drunk, and we met the hooligan, Patty Houlihan. That he doesn't fight anymore. Unfortunately, he got sick.
What was it? He has blood clots or something like that. He has a clot.
Yeah. It's a fucked up story, man. Apparently he had this while he was fighting and never said anything. And they, like, dude, you can't fight anymore. It's just some serious shit. And then that was it. It's a shame, man. Talk about a guy that a country loved. That guy, I don't understand. They loved this guy, man. Every time he stepped in the cage, that place would flip, man. That country loved that dude. So it's a shame, man. And in person, such a nice dude, man. He walked into the bar.
I heard that. I heard Cathal Pendred or Cathal or he's got a huge following in Ireland too. He stopped fighting as well.
Did he stop? Yeah, because I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know.
He's on that show Ray Donovan now. Well, not a big part, but he's on that show.
I gotta catch up. I'm so behind on Ray Donovan. I didn't know that he was on that. I gotta watch it. Shit. Oh fuck! I gotta do that tomorrow.
I just recently heard that because I remember him from when he was on The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, remember they just let him pass right through. They're like, yeah, this guy is good. We don't even have to try out. Just get in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that worked out. I
forgot. I got to ask, how many UFC events have you been to, man? You've been to a ton, huh?
I've only been to 4. But it was funny. The last one was the best. It was the best and the worst for me. The last one I went to was the McGregor-Diaz, the first one. And my buddy got us the tickets. He flew us out there. We did everything. The David Guetta party afterwards. It was sick. But when McGregor lost, oh my God!
You could say that's like saying that you were at like the Rumble in the Jungle with like Muhammad Ali. That was a classic of classics.
I hope McGregor never loses again. So at least I could say I went to that one fight where McGregor loses. I hope he says thanks for the cheese and really bounces, and then I can say, I went to that one fight in the UFC where he lost. I can say that. But that night this is the funny part about it. I'll tell a quick story. That fight, the Miesha Tate Holly Holm fight, I've never heard a stadium as loud as they were for that fight. It was insane.
That was a classic.
Holly Holm was winning the fight. Miesha Tate, right at the last second, boom, chokes her out. The place erupted. Then you fast forward and you go into this McGregor-Diaz fight, which was bonkers. The first round was a slugfest. The second round, McGregor was doing fine, and then there goes that. That happened. Even the Irish fans were going bonkers. They were going crazy because they were giving the respect to Diaz, and it was fun to see how the crowd was so pro McGregor. And how they just fuck it, man. This guy put on a show. Good for this dude. And everyone jumped on that side and cheered him on. And it was cool to see. But I had a tear in my eye. I walked out slowly.
That was good. That's unbelievable, man. I can't believe you were there. That's great. That
was a cool time.
Where'd you sit for that fight?
That fight, we were fairly high at that fight. But what was cool about that was the MGM. That was the old MGM. That's not the new one now. I heard is you get the nosebleed, you're screwed. That gym's not bad because it's a super small place, and the way it's situated, it's like bleacher seats. It's not even like up top wasn't even real seats. So we were sitting between one broadcaster, Chael Sonnen, whatever network he was broadcasting with, and then the Frankie Edgar, Dominic Cruz was on the other side. We were literally in between that, so we get to yell at those dudes. We get to watch the fight. I took a piss.
Press boxes?
We were next to the press boxes. We were right next to them. So we were kind of nosebleeds, but they were decent seats. It wasn't bad. We spent, it was like $4.50 a ticket, which is like a discount for
what's that's pretty good for a UFC fight. Now, I went to the UFC, the fight week for UFC 200, so I got to get into, I wasn't at the UFC 200, but I went to all like the press conference. It was one of the pictures I sent you, but the T-Mobile Arena, I didn't know about the upper deck being having no vision, because I heard that they built that arena for fighting. Not only for fighting, but they had that in mind for, the spectators.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I heard it's a beautiful place. The new place is beautiful, but apparently there's some real dud seats that, I guess they want to get every ass they could get into those seats. This way they could get some cash and make some money.
I just hope it's not like the Barclays Center, because I'm a huge Islander fan, and there's some seats that have obstructed views where you literally watch the whole game staring at an I-beam.
The Barclays, that place, I saw a concert there. I forgot who I saw there, but I was like, this really? I'm like, but they're not going to stay there though. I heard they're going back to Long Island from.
Well, it's in their contract that within 5 years, if the Coliseum upgrades to a point that was that they asked for, like to their specifics, they have a contract that says that they could breach it and go back. And I just read today that they did do an upgrade to the Coliseum. Jay-Z actually invested in it, and I'm praying that they do, because I'm a diehard Islander fan, and to me, there's too much history in that building.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how did this happen? I don't want to start getting into a hockey conversation, but how you're from Jersey, and how did you get blessed with the Islanders?
Well, I was I was unfortunately, Chris, blessed with the Islanders, Mets, and Jets. So as you could tell, I'm a front runner. I was born in Brooklyn, and I grew up in Long Island up until I was like 9, and then became a Jersey boy and been here ever since.
Gotcha. Okay, so there you go.
10 years, I was in Florida for my company and on the radio. I do facilities work for retail stores nationally, so I get to travel, and a lot of these stores are a little bit high-end stores, so whenever I go to Vegas, I get to stay at the Cosmopolitan because they have one of my stores in their mall. So that's why I always get out to Vegas whenever there's a fight. I try to purposely go out there, or vice versa.
Cosmo is probably one of the dopest places in Vegas.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good spot. That and Aura, I always hang out in those two spots.
You ever been to the Ghost Bar?
Yes. Actually, I was there years ago. But XS is where, when we go, my buddy has a hook at XS, and that's usually where we hang. Like if we're doing the bottle thing, if we're popping the bottles. That's excess. But in Vegas, no matter where you go, it's just stupid.
Now, when you went to the absolutely, it's stupid. When you went to that Boston fight, did you meet Patty in the arena, or did you go to one of those after?
We were at a pub. And we were hanging out there, rocked. And, we had to do some quick damage because in Boston, everything shuts down real quick. And us New Yorkers, we're not down with that. So we had to make sure we caught up and made sure we were good. And we were pounding them. And everyone had, at the time, the dethrone gear, the freaking McGregor's used old stuff.
I love the symbol.
Dude, it's sick, right? I don't know what happened with that. I guess Nike or Reebok. Reebok happened with that. But, everyone was rocking the hats. And I was like, oh, this one of these guys got to be a fighter. And then that was the same press conference when McGregor won. And they were sipping, him and the Houlihan were sipping the scotch or the whiskey, whatever the hell, the whiskey they were drinking at the press conference. It was that time. He did that.
Yeah, and he said that this is $20,000 whiskey.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. The hooligan went back to hang out with his friends at the bar. No after party. He just literally went to the bar to hang out. He strolls in with this nice little suit. His face is all lumped up. And I was like, holy shit. So, we jumped over there. I asked him a couple questions, and totally cool, man. And a little guy, too, real tiny guy. But, man, I was like, you know what? You see a guy like this, and you're like, I could fuck this guy up. And then little do you know.
That's like when you see Frankie Edgar. It's crazy. It's like it's baffling to me, because if you saw him and didn't know at a bar, you would get your ass destroyed, because you look at him and he looks like nothing. But some of them surprise you. Like I saw Uriah Faber, and he's a solid guy. Like he's just looks like he's built like a rock. He's short, but he's built like a rock. Solid as a rock.
So, Joey, you're getting some love. King Clan from Scotland says, Joey Mouth is awesome. Get him on very often. And very informed.
Thank you, King Clan.
Very informed. There you go. So King Clan likes it. Yeah, dude, I got to say, man, it's a pleasure for you jumping in. I mean, I think you brought a lot to the table with this broadcast, and it was pretty cool, man.
Well, Chris, man, thank you so much for having me. Thank you guys for the love, and I wanted to personally apologize to I Miss Dad, because he was going back and forth with me, and I got sucked into the to trolling and stuff. But really, all I just wanted to do was basically join this because, like I said, I stumbled on your show a couple of weeks back, and it's a great show. I figured, I love being a part of a community, and this really is a community, and I think you really have your finger on the pulse, for lack of a better word, because there's a lot of us out there that just love talking fights, and this is a perfect outlet to do it.
I appreciate the kind words. That's very kind of you. And basically in the chat room, I encourage the bull busting. But yeah, I hope everyone doesn't take it too serious. Like when people get a little too serious, just ignore those people, because we're here to have fun. We're here to laugh, bust each other's chops, and that's basically the vibe I want going. So I'm glad you guys kind of softened it up. And that guy, I'm his dad. He was on fire on Saturday, man. This dude was just tearing into everyone, and I think he's just a ball buster, so I wouldn't take anything to heart with him.
Absolutely. I'm mad that I missed that, because I think it's great. I love those what's it called, the fight companions.
Yeah, Joe Rogan does.
I missed out on that, man.
Yeah, so yeah, Joe Rogan does that, and we piggyback off it. He does it all professional and talks about real stuff, and we talk about drinking scotch and what we think. It means absolutely nothing, but it's a lot of fun. But Saturday was fantastic. We had a huge chat going, and everyone was super cool. And we even had a contest. We gave away a couple of autographs because of the event we're going to. So actually, King Clam won the contest. He's getting a couple autographs out of it. So that's pretty much it. All right, Joey. Thank you very much. I'm gonna wrap this little interview, this little combo with you, and I look forward to seeing you again in our hangouts.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Email me if you guys got any events. I'll see if I can bring anybody from the gym or anything like that, or link up at a fight or something like that. I'd love it, and I'll definitely see you next Wednesday.
Absolutely, Joe. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. So there he is. The man, the legend, Joey Mouth has jumped in on a Google Hangouts, and we enjoyed hanging out with him. What do you guys think? I want to see in the chat. I want to see the chat. What do you guys think of Joey Mouth jumping in on the MMA-HOLES? What I liked about the Joey Mouth thing is he seemed knowledgeable. It wasn't like he wasn't just dropping names and stuff like that. He actually seemed that he cared about the sport. He was knowledgeable about the sport. We are a bunch of MMA-HOLES. We just are fans, and we give our opinion about that. So it's kind of nice to see people that actually know what they're talking about jumping in and talking as well. So that's pretty much that. Mexican trolls don't last long around here. All right. It brings the chat mood down. Okay, hold on. Joey Mouth. Okay. That's the way we like it. Okay, so basically, like I said before, I like the bull busting. I enjoy that. So, no one take anything too serious. If people are busting chops, just roll with the punches. If you don't want to, just keep going. Mexican he's got a salty mouth, and he likes to get going, and we like that. So basically, we had a nice long show today. We had a lot of friends jump in, and we had this thing rolling. We still have 9 watchers over here. Hello, 9 watchers. If you are new to the show, if you're new to the MMA-HOLES, we do a weekly show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We have friends jump in on a hangout. We talk, we chat with everyone in the live chat, and we discuss the fights. We discuss everything MMA, everything in the MMA world. You could jump in my cage and hang with us. My name is Chris. I am at the MMA-HOLES. You could follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook, and we just started the Instagram page, the MMA-HOLES. Just type in the MMA-HOLES. We'll pop up and say hi. I'm going to hang in the chats for 2 more seconds, and I'm going to wind this down. Okay. Okay, we count on him then. See, we're going to count on. I'm assuming we're talking about Joey. We're going to count on him for all the knowledge. King Clan, that's the way we like it. No problem, Joey. Okay, so there we go. Love for everybody. What do you guys think about this? I'm going to just drop this out there real quick. For UFC 205, they're going to have that fight week in New York. If you guys are going to be in the area and you're going to be attending some of the events, what if we do like a meetup, like an MMA-HOLE meetup where we just take over events? I think that'd be kind of fun. If you like that, drop it in the comment, give a thumbs up, Sub to the channel, guys. Thanks, King Clan. King Clan knows we have fun here, man. We talk, we laugh, we dance, we sing, we hang out in cages. Over here, this is so amazing, this cage. Just, it's crazy. Night Mang, see you later, Mexican. Good seeing you. Best top 10, let's do it. All right, best top 10. If you want to do it, let's do it. I do believe that. And keep an eye out. The 25th of October, we will be meeting Chris Weidman and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson at a photo shoot for UFC 205. We're going to try our best to do a live stream over there. If we do that live stream, it would be great to get you guys in the hangouts, pull a couple of fighters over, BS, talk some shit, and see how that's going. So, with that being said, this... Whoop. There it is. There's our end song. You know what that means, guys. We're going to wrap this up. Mike Daly, I see that you're back. Welcome back to the chat, Mike Daly. Listen, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Check us out, Mike Daly. 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night. We're going to be back next Wednesday. We're not going to do a fight this weekend because there's no fight. But we'll be doing more fight buddies down the road where we can drink and laugh. Good to see you. And the best top 10, Chris, I do Zoolander face. Oh, okay. So the blue steel. Was it? I don't know how that goes. You know, next Wednesday I'm going to wear my Zoolander shirt in honor of Zoolander face. But like I said, if you guys aren't subscribed, subscribe. If you didn't thumbs up, make sure you thumbs up. Thanks for Dan the Man for jumping on the show. Thanks for Joey for giving the knowledge and jumping on the show as well. This channel is awesome. Well done, Chris, for putting this together. Thank you, King Clan. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and I appreciate it. We had a nice long show. Smack the thumbs, smack the subscribes, smack your cocks. See you later.